Been doing this for 4 fucking years. You didn't fucking get it by now. Get the fuck out of here.
Off the rest of your spasms and tell them you can do the can you suffering?
Water level is not a
Fuck off, go away.
I thought they were if you want to use the establish horizontal, but it's not going to be a horizontal at either of the two pot ends, it's going to be in the middle. You then have to use another tool to manufacture a line, manufacture the horizontal you have to use through a camera or some other device to generate the horizontal, because the level doesn't. It just gives you 2 points that are at the same elevation, and that's it.
Yeah, well,
no horizontal involved.
Well, if you connect those 2 points, and you just said this a few moments ago, you do establish a horizontal at the midpoint of the 2 points.
Yes, you need another
that's
tool.
kind of the way I felt about
By
it,
itself, you do not get a horizontal. You need another tool. If you want to end up with a horizontal, you then need another tool to do that. Either a telescope or something to look through it.
It's showtime.
Well,
Bev will say 100% of the time that the water level is a tool that establishes a horizontal plane of reference. I say, now wait a minute, there is another definition of a water level. It is a device that establishes 2 points of equal elevation. That's what a water level is.
So,
well, yeah, but you're getting a lot wrong, I'm afraid, Charles.
That's kind of the way I felt.
Then don't ask questions if you're not going to listen to the answer.
Okay, well, go ahead, go on. You answer. Well, you just made a claim that just with 2 pots you can determine horizontal. Tell me how I could do that and then say, right, the horizontal is here in the middle.
I say, now wait a minute.
Between those 2 pots, how I'd do that then? Go ahead.
I thought that was a good idea. So what are we doing today? What are we doing today, Charles?
Proving that Bev is not a flat earther. And I don't think he understands.
Right, exactly.
You don't understand.
And I don't think he understands Bev is not a flat earther.
Right, exactly.
It's not my problem if you don't want to learn.
And I don't think he understands.
So today we got the Flat Earth man, Charles.
You could not generate a horizontal feature or anything just with a water level. You need another tool to use to do that. So by itself, it cannot generate a horizontal plane. Right, but then I need a straight thing, don't I? Okay, I chose to put. Okay, I chose I let you get out of it by having a straight. Okay, let's not just say a shelf. Let's suppose I wanted to put a football. That was midpoint and horizontal between the 2 things. You couldn't do it. I chose a shelf, which of course is a horizontal, is a straight line thing. So if I pick a non-straight line thing, you can't do it.
You know, using water to make a horizontal plane.
Right. That's not possible.
Right. Because Bev is not a flat earther.
Right, exactly.
You don't understand.
I want to put a shelf that's horizontal to those 2 things. How would I do that with just those 2 pots? You can't do it.
You just don't.
They constantly force themselves into denying the idea that you can have an angle between a curve and a straight line, or between 2 curves. Of course you can. That's fundamental in mathematics. There's no fundamental error. We're just simply avoiding being a pedantic prick. That's all.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, sure. Over distance, you see some really strange things. You end up looking down to see something that is at an elevation higher than you are.
Yes, that's exactly what happened in California.
Right, sure, exactly. Lining the tops of the water up in 2 vessels that are 60 feet apart gives you a line which we know is technically horizontal at its that line of sight is technically horizontal. It's showtime.
You don't understand.
Right, exactly.
It's not my problem if you don't want to learn. You just don't.
Bev keeps on saying this is a tool to establish a horizontal. It's his favourite phrase. I'm going to use that probably even more than horizontal level.
No logic, no wisdom, no worry.
The horizontal level. I think it's important to point out that this is wrong.
On your own.
It's not that.
No reason, no logic, no answers to the question.
And so that's Bev.
You're just on your own.
No, another point. Verticals are lines and not planes. That's another key thing. Whereas horizontals are planes and not lines.
That's true.
Right, but a vertical plane isn't isn't defined that way. The plane itself is vertical, which means if you were to draw a line orthogonal to the vertical plane, and then measure the angle to that orthogonal, then you would see that one is horizontal and then the plane itself is vertical. Anyway, so Blue, you want to move on?
Yeah. Well,
I don't think that was really helpful. But what do you think, Blue?
it's showtime.
And we are live. Welcome, everyone. It is Monday. I don't think we're going to do the Model Affliction Mondays anymore. It's about we've grown out of that. We will be talking about the new sects within the flat Earth. I think that's developing. Like we've been saying, thanks, Sergeant Rock's come in, thinks that we're trying to. I think it's a rolling joke at the minute with these people. That they come in and they say that, are we still pretending to be flat earthers? Well, no, never been a flat earther. Never will be a flat earther. The Earth's not flat. Sorry. But, I mean, a lot of people still do that. So, sorry, Sergeant Rock.
Not pretending to be one either.
Yeah, no.
No.
Well, I mean, I'm not bigoted. I can talk to people if people want to be flat earthers. That's fine. I just happen to not be a flat earther. For many reasons. So yeah, we're not flat earthers. But since there's an arena, heavy arena, that we seem to be in the vicinity of, a lot of people do associate us with that, mainly because we talk about geometry and, that's related to measurement of the land. And we deal with logic, which is obviously related to reality. And we deal with quite a lot of physics and related to reality too. So we do have a lot of talk of reality, which seems to upset a lot of people. And I mean a lot. Well, I say a lot. I don't really talk to that many people, but within this arena, yeah, there's a lot of people that are really, really triggered with some of the things that we say, with the proofs, the arguments. We can't help that. But we will be talking about them. And what we seem to be noticing at the minute, I mean, I've been in this arena for a bit. I came in because I was looking for to have a word with the guy called Jesse Kozlowski. I came from Twitter. That's why I came in. Other people have obviously got all sorts of different reasons that they come into this arena. But once you're into this arena, there's some strange things that happen. Now, I've talked to most people within this arena. Because that's what I like doing. I like talking to people. So, that's what we're here doing. Now, was it this weekend? Was it late on? Friday, Saturday, Thursday? I can't remember. Nathan Oakley had a conversation with Jaren. And it stirred up a little bit of a thing, really. Because, I mean, although we did a couple of years ago, a proof thing, it never really took off because, strangely enough, nobody wants to talk about it. It's embarrassing for a lot of people to talk about proof when they don't really know what it is. And I don't know whether we need to go over the actual, I can't call it a debate, conversation that was had with Nathan and Jaren. Obviously, the two different opposing positions. But it's the aftermath of what happens because mainly I was looking at a guy called Flatsoid.
Hey, we having a moment of silence or something?
Who's that? We're just doing a live show turn up.
Can you not hear Bev turn up?
Can I not hear who?
Can you not hear Bev?
No, yeah.
No.
Yeah, Bev's been talking.
Yeah, Frank, check if you can unmute him.
Okay. Can I do the intro turn up? Is that all right? Thank you. Where was I? I don't know. Anyway, we've been going over a thing, Flatsoid, and I don't know whether many people know the people in this arena. People watch videos of other people whenever they get into this arena, and they probably do it quite heavily. Probably overdose on it, a lot of it. Well, a strange thing happened this weekend, whereas a guy called Jaren, who I think he's been going for quite a while. Well, Flatsoid, is he? Can I hear something? Who's that? Is that turn up? Flatsoid's put a video out showing and saying that Jaren isn't a flat earther, which I'm pretty sure that Jaren identifies as a flat earther. But it seems like there's a group of people now that are taking over. I call them the flat earth purists. And they seem to be banishing people from the flat earth, which, I mean, like I say, I'm not a flat earther, so I'm not really that fussed. But within this debate, let's say, that was called with Jaren and Nathan Oakley, I said Jaren did come up with a good point, and that is that shouldn't the flat earthers be sticking together, being able to communicate with each other? And why would certain flat earthers want to be telling other flat earthers that they're not flat earthers? As if there's some sort of a governor of the flat earth, which seems to be coming across from one certain group to another. And there seems like there's flat earth wars at the minute. And there's a team of people that I'm not too... It
reminded us of the Inquisition, I think, when we were watching it. Right? It was like kiss the emblem on the robe, like the old William Wallace thing, from Braveheart. And if you don't, then we're going to draw and quarter you. So here it comes, baby. In fact, I think there might be a drawing and quartering going on of Jaren as we speak, maybe, or whenever the treatment is going to happen.
Oh, well, yeah, QE, Nathan and Arwin and Flatsoid, they're all teaming up against Jaren. And I do believe that Jaren made a comment that there is no proof within science, which we are Desi. We've been talking to a lot of people over about 2 or 3 years now. And yeah, that's the consensus. There is no proof in modern science. It's been going for a long time. And I believe that's what Jaren said. Who's got Sergeant Rock? Is he asking for a debate? Just pop on in. I'll not hit the mute button, dude. Come on in. Bev Chicken's out.
It's Sean
Come on
Hawkins.
in, Sean. Is that Sean? Well, welcome back, Sean. We stuck through you with all of that, Sean. Come in and do your Polaris thing. We've been asking you for ages. Lights in the sky. This is the perfect time. We're going to be doing a sextant thing. I think that's what Flatsoid was going on about. You can show us that how right Flatsoid is about his thing, measuring angles. He says, Flatsoid says, if you use a sextant, it's required that you have a horizontal. Maybe Sean can confirm that for us. Back up Flatsoid's point of view rather than Jaren. Come on in, Sean. Nobody, you're not banned. We were going to do a t-shirt. I stand with Sean. Anytime, Sean. Pop on in. Or you might be chicken. It's all right, though, Sean, if you're chicken. Don't worry about it. It's fine. We'll never mention it again. So, yeah, we've got the sextant argument, and apparently there's some sort of modus tollens that does it. I'll be going over that one with Flatsoid. But I've got another one because I went to go and have a word with Arwin as well. Because Arwin's on the same team. This super flat earth team. The ultimate debaters. The flat earth debaters.
You had a word with Arwen, you said?
Well, you'll be able to hear what it was. I went in there really because he was talking about Rachie. And after the Jaren thing, it just sounds so weird. Because I'm after talking to people, and I want to know what's going on within this arena. Let me get the... you guys, what have you got on there? Yeah. You've got the video. You can see that. Right, yeah, we all watch the Nathan, because it's not often Nathan Oakley gets out of his thing. He doesn't go many places. But to go to this other arena to have a word with Jaren, especially about proof. That's been a main thing of us. We've been studying that particular fact that these modern day scientists, particularly the ones in the Discord arena and maybe Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, you know who we're talking about. These modern scientists, call them blue marble scientists if you want, because that's their aim. They don't have any proof. And I think that's what Jaren was talking about. But I mean, I don't know. We'll have a word with Jaren about it, hopefully. Hopefully we can get a talk. It's led to this idea that a certain group of flat earthers can, there you go, Proof Project 2022, right at the beginning of the year.
New Year's Day,
Yeah.
as a matter of fact.
And still, nobody's got any proof to this day. Apart from, seems like Nathan Oakley has. He's got proof of scurvy. And what else? Water boiling. So some big steps that Nathan Oakley made, yeah. Do you think Nathan Oakley's ever actually put a thermometer in some boiling water to make sure what he was saying was actually true, or he was just using the body of science. I don't know. Like, personally, I don't know. I thought it was a really weird one if Nathan was going to prove. Because apparently Nathan Oakley's proved the flat Earth. An impossible task, but he said that ages ago, many times. So ridiculous statements are allowed to be made by anybody, it seems. But yeah, I guess Nathan Oakley and Jaren had this thing, and that's given the Nathan Oakley group, the purist flat earthers, the ability, it seems, to say that other people aren't flat earthers, and that they're the ones that tell people what to say and what not to say, and if you don't say the right things, then these people can cast you out. Just get rid of you. So I went to go and see Arwen. Has anybody got anything else to say about that? I think most of us watched it, didn't we? Anybody got anything to say about the either that debate or the videos that are going to be made afterwards? I don't know what whether Jaren's going to be making videos like Nathan Oakley's making about how Nathan Oakley, I don't know. It seems like all of the hit jobs seem to be coming from one particular group of flat earthers, the purest of all flat earthers. Nathan Oakley's told me as well. But I mean, they told me that I'm not a flat earther, but then there's other people that say I am a flat earther. So it's a bit hard to tell who are the people that says whether you are flat earthers or whether you aren't, because it seems to me you're not allowed to decide for yourself. Other people decide it for you, and it depends whoever these people are. Yeah, Rick didn't watch it. Anybody in here watch it? Do you think of the...
You are talking about the Jaren and Nathan conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it in here with you, guys.
Yeah. What do you think about the that or the aftermath of... I mean, did you get an idea that Jaren isn't a flat earther from it?
No. And to me, the curious thing is that they didn't get, as far as I can tell, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but that it didn't seem like they got to get to terms with what is a proof, even. And that seems like it should be bottom line before going into a conversation about proof, is what even is it, you know? And I think that's important. And yeah, the aftermath seems way out of proportion to what actually happened in the conversation. It's a curious case of people being people, I guess. It's interesting.
Yeah, Death has got in the chat there that Jaren's not going to mention his name again and forget he exists. I would imagine the same, yeah. There's literally no point in doing that. And I would say that's why Nathan, Flatsoid, Arwin, QE are going to be overloading this, using Jaren's name to say he's not a flat earther. Which, Jaren's, I'm pretty sure that Jaren doesn't do the same sort of thing that Nathan Oakley does, and that's what separates Jaren from people like Nathan Oakley and QE and all of that. There's different sorts of flat earthers now. Like, very different. And whenever you take if you decide you're going to be a flat earther, it seems as though what Nathan Oakley's doing is he's making you separate yourself. What type of a flat earther now? What are all of the different types of flat earthers, and who decides? Like Sean Hawkins in the chat there, Super Sean, who we have stuck by all the time, Sean. We still stand with you. Even though nobody plays your videos and nobody mentions you at all anymore. We still stand by you, Sean. See, Sean wants to put people on the Flat Earth list. So Sean is like a recruiter for the Flat Earth. Whereas Nathan Oakley, QE, Arwin, Flatzoid, those sort of people want to take people off that list that people like Sean put on. All for drama, right? It doesn't actually mean anything. People labeling people seems to be a modern day thing. As if it makes any difference, really. And like, unless this government tracking sort of thing is done by people like Sean Hawkins, tagging you with the Flat Earther tag, and then the governments will have you. You know, they might even put your price of your insurance up on your car because Sean Hawkins has tagged you as a flat earther. You never know. You might have to pay 50p more on a gallon of fuel. I don't know what the new rules that are going to come out for flat earthers. But you have different people that are recruiting for flat earth. And then you have other people that are excommunicating people from the flat earth. I'm going to go over one of the classic cases of one of the superheroes. Obviously, it's hard for me to be able to talk to these people because they tend to not want to talk. They tend to not want to talk about tricky questions, right? There are, unfortunately, questions that certain people don't want to answer. And when they don't want to answer these questions, they just, well, they have different tactics. Come on in, Sean. Come and have a chat. Go over it. Right. So, there's a... Get this. This is a guy called Arwin. The balding chap that you see in the thing there. Right now, this is Arwin on his stream, so please don't be offended. This is Arwin's part of the Nathan Oakley Flat Earth debate team. And these are the people that decide who is allowed to stay in the Flat Earth thing and who isn't allowed to stay in the Flat Earth thing. And as you will hear, who's allowed to say what in the Flat Earth arena, and like who can get excommunicated for saying the wrong things. Let's hear Arwin.
Yeah, Blue Pill Evolution, talking about which people need to get right with logic. Did anybody watch Raichi's video?
There we go.
Jesus. She was just basically, it was a recorded conversation that she was having with somebody else. I don't think it's even online. Just they sound like they're in the same room. And she's just complaining about our stupid relative density explanation and how it doesn't work, even though it does work. I mean, she's really fucked up.
So Ratchi was talking about relative density, and that's Arwin's relative density. She's messed up, apparently. I mean, I don't know. I haven't even heard this conversation. But Arwin, obviously talking about it. Now, he goes in to explain. This is what she did wrong.
Not good in her head anymore, man. I don't know what the hell's wrong with her. I don't know what's wrong with her. I'm getting really aggravated towards her because she's just not listening. And she's like, in that video, she's literally complaining about, yeah, they just repeat the same thing over and over again, like that's going to change anything. Yeah, but you don't seem to listen because it works. And it's scientifically demonstrable. It can be demonstrated and repeated, and it'll always work, and it'll never not work.
So, Rachie says it doesn't work, and Arwin says it does. It just does. It works. So if everybody's understanding that, he's quite good at it. He doesn't know what's up with her.
Why the fuck can't you just accept that it works?
Just works.
Scientifically, it works. Why are you being a fucking science denier when it is demonstrably correct?
That's demonstrably correct. Has anybody else been called a science denier? By Arwin?
That's still on my list.
By Arwin specifically. No, I haven't had the pleasure.
But you have been called a science denier.
Oh, yes, many times.
Ever by one of the flat earth purists?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
There you go, yeah. So even flat earth purists can say that you're a science denier because things work. Science says they work. So therefore, you're a science denier. I've been called a science denier too. I don't think ever by a flat earther though. It's normally for the, say Flat Earth Society. We can group them all together, suppose. Now the new Flat Earth purist sect. Flat
agreed.
Earthers, they're the same as the Flat Earth Society, which I call the other ones, like Sean Hawkins. These ones are people that want to recruit you into the Flat Earth.
You've been called a science denier by the Flat Earth Inquisition, haven't you? Pretty sure.
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
No, with regard, isn't the whole sextant thing science?
No, that's geometry. That's not science. Okay. That's mathematics. Right. That's not science.
All right, not science. Okay,
no,
good.
Not science. It can't be science, can it? Well, it proves something.
It proves, yes.
Yeah, it proves. So it can't be science, not modern science, anyway. Nate, that was the thing Saragaki was talking about it earlier. If modern science doesn't provide proof, like I'd say the majority of people have told me that, like what Jaron was saying. Whereas I'm Nathan Oakley. I'm old school. I like traditional proofs, and I'm relating those traditional proofs to reality. That's what we've been doing all this time. I don't know whether Nathan's doing that because, like Arwin's saying here, Arwin's dealing in science and Nathan was dealing in science, so it gets a bit confusing, but eventually we'll get down to the bottom of, these conversations about what proves what and whether science is proof or whether proof is outside of science. I'm hoping to get to the bottom of it.
Can I say one thing on...
Yeah.
Can I say one thing on proof?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like really fascinating to me, right? Of course, Bev, we tried this in 2022. I went over to GEMS, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's no proof for them. There's just no proof, zero proof. Yeah. So my question, and I'm not taking sides here, is right, and I'm not talking about like the scientific method. I understand that whole thing, right? Of course, and I don't disagree with it, but this is my question, a general question. If we can't prove things, right? If we can't have like a positive yes or no on something, right?
Okay,
now,
go on.
How can we build a bridge?
How
can we build a bridge? Yeah.
What, engineering? Or are you talking about a bridge between the communities of proof and no proof?
No, engineering. engineering. If I can definitively say that if I put X amount of cars on this bridge, I have to make the steel this thick, I have to put this much space between the pylons. If I can't absolutely say that definitively, how can I build a building or a bridge? Or if there's no proof, then there's no life. I mean, I don't get this. Why is this an argument?
I think this is what we're going to be talking about, and hopefully people will be picking up on this. The modern science take is that there is no proof. They removed proof from science in the 1600s. A guy called Francis Bacon just removed it, just extracted it. He did a proof extraction from science, modern science. So mathematics, everyone will tell you. Fight the Flat Earth told me right back in the day. Proof is only within mathematics, not in science anymore. There's no proof in science. Proof only exists in mathematics. Building is construction with a lot of maths involved in the thickness of the girders and the strength, the tensile strength, all of that sort of stuff. So that is mathematics, drawings, perpendiculars, straight lines, mathematics. That's where proof exists. So I would say within engineering, construction, plotting, land management, where geometry is, all of that has to be outside the realm of proof of science, because science doesn't have proof, yet mathematics does. And you need to have all of those structural things within engineering. So just outside the realms of science. It's got to be.
Yeah. Next time you take an elevator, right? Think of this topic and say to yourself, I wonder, did they guess how thick that cable had to be in order for me not to worry about going up to the 35th floor? Ask yourself that. And then think about proof. Like, what is wrong with people? I don't get it, man. This is like tripping me out.
Even Sean Hawkins knows that you can have proof in maths, but not in science. So thank you. It seems as though Sean is verifying what Jaren. Sean Hawkins is on Team Jaren. There's no proof in science, whereas Nathan Oakley was saying that there is.
But by saying...
I'll give you a proof right now. I'll give you a proof right now. Ready? If I take a plant that is outside in the sunshine and getting rain and getting water, if I take that plant and I put it and I eliminate light from it and water, it will die. Prove me wrong. Tell me that's not a true statement.
Yeah, it's not a proof though, is it?
Sorry?
So I don't know whether that could be classed as a proof.
Absolutely. I see a plant outside, right? And you can take it as a natural proof, as a scientific proof, or as a general proof, as a general statement. I can prove every time I take a plant that is healthy and eliminate it from light and water, it will die. That's a proof.
Well, like Sean
unless somebody can prove me wrong.
Like modern day. This is modern day Discord, YouTube, social media, right, or whatever you want to call it. Proof just exists in mathematics, according to some people. Proof doesn't belong in science. Now, that would say to you biology, I would say. The plants.
I'll give you another proof. If a samurai swordsman cuts the head off a person, they will die every single time. proof positive. Prove me wrong, anybody, any side. Prove that statement wrong.
I don't think those things can have a prove me wrong statement at the end of it. I think we need to go over, obviously, proof and how that associates with the mind. And
well, how is that statement wrong?
No, you can generalize.
Those two statements about the plant and about the samurai chopping a head off. How is that not proof?
You can generalize both of them. You can say that plants without light and water will die. Always. You can make a general statement or even a categorical statement. And you can say with the swordsman that people cannot live without head. That would be general statement. So cutting off the head would result, of course, in death. But if you are saying that someone is cutting off head of some people, it is based on assumption that people cannot live without head. So that would be like common notion. That's why people are or were beheaded back in the day, because people knew that it will kill them. If it wouldn't, they would not kill them in that manner. So the common notion is first. And obviously you are right. So it is proven that...
Yeah, in the formological sense, right? Yeah, but I'm talking now in generality, because I'm tired of hearing you can't prove anything, right? This is the common statement I've been hearing for years. You can't prove anything.
Well, we can.
Only mathematics can prove something.
But that means that if you use mathematics within your argument, then a proof is possible.
Yes, but...
Well, yeah, I guess I can formulate it differently, like in, that statement with the plants, and I can put the exact amount of sunlight, and I guess I can formulate it differently, but
in fact, proof is logical statement or syllogism or modus ponens or whatever.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So, but it is based, if you are talking about physics, so you are using syllogism or modus ponens or modus tollens or whatever regarding physics. So absolutely you can have proofs in science like physics, biology or whatever. But what Sean is talking that for me it is very dangerous what he is talking about, because in his statement is assumption that mathematics is not a science, because he is making this exclusion, but not science. So if you can have proofs in math and not in science, it means literally that mathematics is not science, which is completely false.
Very true. That's the thing to take from all of this. The people that say mathematics is separate than science, they're fooling themselves. Of course there's proof. It's just there is no proof of a certain model. Well, certain things there is no proof of or for.
I think that word has been hijacked. Proof.
Obviously.
That word proof has been hijacked. Yeah. That's my point.
Well, my point about what was going on...
We can absolutely prove things.
Yeah, the point about the conversation that they were having about proof never got round to this issue. of what is proof and how do you understand it? Because I think we've had a few conversations with a lot of people over these last few days that they don't have an idea what proof is. And if you don't have a proof of your own, how do you know what a proof is? How do you acquire a proof if you have no concept of what proof is? If you imagine there's no proof in science, then how do you gain a proof within science? And like Papers just said, you've already separated maths from science for some weird reason. I think what actually has occurred is back in the 1600s, Bacon decided that modern science needed to change. They removed the deductive logic and placed just inductive logic, which obviously gets rid of proof. But that then breaks the arm for the tree of science, forks at that point there. Now, everything that was proved before that, i.e. Natural laws, all of your mathematical proofs, your understandings about how everything was done, geometry, all of that, that was done beforehand. That's where all of your proofs lie. They're already there. They don't get rid of those proofs when modern science decides to go. They just say, from this point on, modern science says we can't have any proof. And that's where we are with the modern science, with the people that are talking nowadays. Modern science doesn't have any proof. But that doesn't mean that proof that was there before modern science has just gone away. You know, and that's still there. Just some people can't access it as a proof because they're so into modern science. Holding the head of modern science as some sort of a spook to try and keep other people out of the way. Well, it doesn't work. The conversation should have been about what proof is first. Nathan Oakley was just going on about boiling a kettle. Well, that obviously must have come before, or did it only come after? Did they only realise when they set the 100 degrees Celsius at the temperature when water boils at sea level? Because that's how Celsius was worked. They just gave boiling water 100 degrees. And when it froze, they called that 0. Put 100 divisions from 0 to 100.
Why is that even an issue? You light a freaking fire underwater and it freaking boils. Why is that an issue?
It's not.
Why? I don't get it.
I don't know. Nathan decided to go to that for him to explain proof. But all they did was
scientific method.
Yeah, but they boiled water and said, we'll call that 100 degrees. Let's check the temperature. Is it 100 degrees? Well, yeah. That's when water boils. I mean, you can't really call that much of a proof. I mean, you can say that you've done it a lot of times. And you could say that you've put a thermometer in the water and checked it, and yes, it is 100 degrees. Is that a proof?
No, that would be not. But in Nathan Oakley's example, the hypothesis was that the water will boil.
Yeah.
Not that it has to be 100 degrees Celsius, but it just will boil. So we can check this hypothesis and we can put kettle on the fire and then we can check that it will boil always. if the fire is sufficiently strong. It will boil always. So our hypothesis that fire boils water would be confirmed. And if fire would not boil the water, so our hypothesis would be null. Fire does not boil the water. So this was the whole point in this discussion. And Geran pretended that he didn't understand. Because
yeah. Well, wasn't Geran just taking the position of all of the people that have told him? Like the people that have told SE that there is no proof?
Yes, I think that he was playing some game because he was so dumb. I watched Geran back in the day, like in 2016 and 17 maybe, and his films about NASA hoax, etc. So this cosmic bubbles, this and all that stuff about moon landings, etc. So I cannot assume that he is so dumb that he doesn't understand what proof is within a scientific method, because it is very simple. I would say that you cannot not understand that. It is, for me, it is impossible to not understand what proof in experiment is. It is very simple.
But what if you're easily led by the people in this arena that have said there is no proof in science? I mean, like, I must admit, I've heard it said lots. The people have been saying it to me for a long time. Now, I'm of the understanding that mathematics and geometry is a science. I particularly think that logic is the science of reasoning. So I'm okay. It doesn't affect me because I know what proof is. I have my own proofs. But if you don't have a proof and you hear everybody telling you there is no proof in science, like a lot of kids that are being brought up, that's all they'll hear. There's people listening to people like Sean Hawkins in the chat. Obviously, yes, all of the flat fight the flat Earth. All of the Globers, everyone over at Gem Panda's Discord server. They'll tell you there is no proof in science. So
yes, but talking about Sean, because SGT Rock, I think, yes, it is Sean, yes?
I think so.
He doesn't understand, I think, from what he's saying in the chat, that even if you can boil water in vacuum without heating, it doesn't disprove the fact that fire boils the water.
Yeah, heat does boil water.
Yeah. So his statement is completely non sequitur. It doesn't follow. You cannot disprove by that statement which Sean made. You cannot disprove that fire boils water. So his objection is completely invalid. I think that he doesn't understand that his objection is invalid.
Didn't really want to go into the full-on proof because obviously the conversations about proof, we already have those conversations in here, and you know, like we can have those conversations at different times. This one tonight is mainly about people, how they can cast people out of their groups, let's say. I'm not a flat earther. I'm also not a globe earther, although everybody does know 'tis globe. And there are a lot of flat earthers, of people who call themselves flat earthers. What that means is up to them. It's, you know, their proofs, if they have any proofs, will be their own. And that's what should have been the discussion. Now, obviously, I think Nathan Oakley went to his proofs. But I don't know whether he's fully understood the way of the conversation, although the heat in water is a bit simple. And would you call that a scientific experiment? I don't know. It's rather a simple thing.
Yes, you can't say that this is an experiment, because experiment doesn't need to be very complicated. In fact, the simpler experiment, the better, because your outcome is more evident. So if you don't need to worry about controlled variables or constant variables, it is the better for experiment. So the simpler experiment, the better.
Yeah, I think what you're going to have now is pretty much, I'm pretty sure it's the same sort of thing that happened with Jaren when he was talking to Nathan. Sean is now doing exactly the same thing to you. He is stating it's not a non sequitur.
Yeah, oh, double negation, yeah.
Your statement is poorly worded.
Yeah.
You said that fire boils water, which it does. He says that eliminates all other methods. It doesn't.
It doesn't eliminate. It doesn't eliminate. Yes. So, Sean, you are just scientifically illiterate.
Well, he's doing the same sort of thing. It's full-on combat. Sean can't have an agreement with you because he's taken Betty's side rule on.
No, but he's making a statement that by saying that fire boils water, I am eliminating other methods.
Yeah.
No, I am not eliminating. I am just stating fact that fire boils water.
Yeah, but in his head. What you're doing by saying that is eliminating all of the rest. You're not actually doing it, but because Sean has got this side rule, he's having to combat what you say as though he has to argue against it. It's exactly the same thing that Jaren was doing with Nathan Oakley.
I think so. Yeah. That's why he looked like dumb.
Yeah, it overrides your mental capacity to think straight. The combativeness just stops people from thinking normally, as demonstrated by Sean in the chat.
Yeah, and he doesn't.
So in this quote, they put something else there instead of your statement. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Sean's come to his conclusion about what he thought you meant when you said what you said. And Sean would be exactly the same as doing what?
Yeah, and but because he is making some implication in his head. I am not making any implications that other methods are excluded. No, I am not. But he is somehow doing that in his head, and then he's projecting this on me. Nonsense.
So Arwin, go back to Arwin. Took a bit out of that. Right, let's go back to Arwin. Let's hear what Arwin's got to say about. Remember, Rachel's. There's not many women in this arena, let's say, although everybody should have an Emma. Most people do, I think, within the arena. Rachel's been making videos and doing her own thing. Even went in to talk to QE about some sort of a thing that QE's had with, I don't know. So this is what Arwen's thinking of other people in the arena that speak up about things.
And every example you've given of how it supposedly doesn't work, it does work, and it's explained to the utmost detail how it does work. And you don't listen. And I'm fucking sick of it. Rachel's a fucking retard.
Sorry about that.
She's arriving to...
I don't agree with Arwen here at all. This isn't the way that you should introduce people. You noticed he said it has been explained in utmost detail, but doesn't bother really explaining anything in any detail.
Yes, he's not explaining, in fact, but still, technically, he is right. Because, yes, density, let's say, relationship between medium and object, it is proven that it causes things to go up or down. Yes, this is proven. And every day, let's say, everyday life can prove that. For example, convector, like radiator, which is warming your house. Now,
yeah, lava lamps. People, I'm sure everybody's seen a lava lamp.
I'm not sure because I don't know this name. But if you have just normal convector, like that is warm at the top and cold at the bottom, and it causes thrust of the air. It's going up. So it means we know that hot air is going up. And hot air is not only hot, but it is rare, more rare. So thinner air is going up. And this is coincidence, of course, that hot air is thinner always. You can check it. You can pump the balloon with air, and you can put this balloon, sealed balloon, in very warm water, and this balloon will expand. It means that heating air causes less dense air, so it is less dense. So it is obvious. I cannot argue against that. So technically he is right, but he is just insulting some lady here. So that's not good.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't even know. I've never talked to Rachel. And I don't know whether you've heard Rachel's conversation or whether you're just going off what Arwen says.
No, I listened maybe one or two her video films on her channel, and parts of her conversation with Flight of the Flat Earth. So I know something about her, let's say, what she's doing.
Okay.
But,
do you think she's allowed to be in the Flat Earth, or would you berate her like Arwen?
I'm not sure, because I thought that she was kind of independent. But now she...
Do you know her?
Pardon?
Sorry, paper, finish.
I think that now she joined that this not Ballbusters or whatever team, this new, let's say, false dichotomy, Flat Earth. So I think that's what she's doing now, because before she didn't mention anything about this stuff. What she was trying to mention in a conversation with QE. So for me, it is new that she is doing now this now. I don't know why, and she's yes, she is denying this density relationship, which is for me this is just stupid.
I don't know. I've never even heard
Okay,
it.
I think you got part of the argument here. If I could be mistaken, is this related to Del and the upward motion of the Earth?
Yes, because
if we're going to talk about somebody, let's put the whole thing on the table. Is that what they're talking about?
Let's not talk about that, because we're talking about Arwen talking about Rachie and how Arwen is banishing Rachie from a certain community. There's no need for us to talk about other things. We can talk about them, but not doing this, not now. If I want to talk about Dell's stuff, well, let's go and talk to Dell about it. And if I want to talk to Rachie, I'd rather talk to Rachie about Rachie's argument. I don't really want to hear it from anybody else.
Yeah, but we are talking about her now, aren't we? And what they're talking about, this density thing. And that relates to that.
I don't know, and I'd rather hear Rachie's thing. The point I'm trying to get at here is that Arwen is telling people who and can say what. Like, I don't even know the conversation, but what it sounds like is that Arwen isn't going to let Rachie say what Rachie wants to say, even though I've never even heard what Rachie's going to say. So if I'm to listen to Arwen and not Rachie, and if I'm one of these people that listen to people who say that there's no proof in science, and you're listening to people like Arwen, what are we meant to think of Rachie? That's the point I'm trying to make, not what Rachie's argument is. It's just that Rachie's a person saying things, talking to people. Arwen is administering whatever he calls his flat earth justice for arguments that have been made. It's not a battle of arguments, is it? At the minute, this isn't. We're going over flat earthers telling other flat earthers what they can say.
Yes, this is what Arwen is doing, but in fact, he is referring to this discussion between QE and Rachie.
Yeah,
and I've heard that discussion, so
yeah, I've heard that discussion as well, but I'm not talking about the actual discussion. I'm talking about how Arwen is dealing with the discussion that I don't know whether he was part of it. He's getting upset on behalf of other people.
Yes, he is. So he's maybe playing game or acting or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's a big man though, you know. Arwen, to be talking about women like this. This is what occurs in these sort of chat rooms, these shows. I mean, of course, Arwen's, as he's going to say, he's got every right to do this. This is Arwen's show. He can ban whoever he wants. He can say any old shit about anybody that he wants to. This is Arwen. This is how these things go. You've heard Nathan Oakley do the same. You'll hear QE doing the same to Jeren. It just goes on and on and on. Never ends. Other people talking about other people. That's how people get bad names.
To the point where I'm gonna tell her the same thing as I told Jaren. Get the fuck out of Flat Earth, you dumb cunt.
There you go. Do you want to hear that again? This is Arwen. This is, he's one of the leaders.
She's arriving to the point where I'm gonna tell her the same thing as I told Jaren. Get the fuck out of Flat Earth, you dumb cunt. If you don't get this, you need to get the fuck out. You're a disruptive retard and you're spreading bullshit. Confusion amongst Flat Earthers. We don't need that. Yeah, there's already enough confusion about bullshit going around. To add your non-understanding of a scientifically proven fact.
There you go. There's already too much bullshit going around in the flat earth. So Arwen's telling other people to get out. He wants to tell everybody the bullshit. And I call this part of it. This is part of the reason I think people don't want to be flat earthers. Who wants to have Arwen dictating what you can say and what you can't say? This is the problem with flat earth. I'm not in the flat earth. But this periphery that we've experienced, all of us experienced this. Not from flat earthers usually. I don't think so. Most of my stuff's come from the guys that would be Globers, but I'm beginning to think at the minute the nameless people on all of the social media things that just type shit. Could they be people like Arwen? Could they be Arwen on a different account, just releasing his anger at people saying things? Yeah, sorry for the language. That wasn't me. I wouldn't use language like that. Arwen. They're getting very brave, these flat earthers.
Do that, yeah? We don't need that on top of it.
We don't need that.
It's getting really tiresome.
People say, imagine that. People saying stupid shit in flat earth.
What happened to you? 37 Godzilla? What? Okay. Oh, it was from you, another one. Oh yeah, sorry, I mixed you up. Mixed you up with Skeptic. I sometimes mix you up. But thanks. Thanks, Godzilla.
Godzilla.
I don't know why you're not coming in here with your main account, though.
Paying him to get his account unbanned.
Thank you.
You're a good man, Gods.
$3 something.
Oh, was he moaning about that? You only give him $3.
Yeah, but sometimes I do mix. That's why I don't like read out the names every time. I do mix you guys up sometimes, unless you like add a little message with the PayPal specifically saying like, yeah, I'm.
So this is Arwen now after just doing that to Rachie.
But hey, where's your main account, Godzilla?
Godzilla. He's talking to Godzilla, who's just sent him a PayPal.
Or maybe you are again, and I couldn't find you.
That he's banned.
YouTube likes to hide the block list, not show the whole thing for some weird reason.
Here we go. Oh look, yes, you're on the band.
Oh yeah, you were in the block list. Okay, you're out of there. Your main account is
shout out Godzilla.
Is unblocked.
I'm paying Arwen to get unbanned.
Yeah, we can see you, Derek.
So you'll see my comments start coming up in the side at the minute, because I was listening to that and I thought, why would Arwen possibly be doing that to people in the community? I mean, if anybody knows anything about this arena or this community, people come in to listen to hear things.
Oh, yeah, Rachie.
It takes a long time to get people to speak. I mean,
Rachie's fucking dumb.
Rachie's speaking.
You are, Rachie. You're dumb. You're fucking dumb. You're not listening. And when you're listening, you're not getting it. There's nothing else we can do. When we explain you and everybody else and you just don't get it, then we can't help you anymore. It just means you're cognitively impaired and you're incapable of learning what is demonstrable fact.
Who else have you heard that from? It sounds familiar.
And we can't help you anymore then. You're just fucking stupid. If you know what's good for you, you just stop doing it.
Just stop doing it.
because you're wrong.
Stop talking, Rachie.
And we get
dare
tired
you?
of trying to
He's
explain
trying
to you
tell
how
what
you're
you
wrong.
should say. Scripted
So
it all
stop
for
doing
you.
it. Your complaining is not achieving anything.
Get out. I mean, come on, it's a joke, isn't it?
Yeah, she doesn't like a lot of things. She doesn't like the scientific method. She doesn't like the relative density experiment. She doesn't like anything. She's just looking for something so she can say, no, it's all bunk. She wants to hand wave dismiss all of it. That's her position.
Does anybody know what Arwen does? Right? Whenever Nathan Oakley needs somebody to argue with, what does Arwen do? Arwen makes up a load of shit. That's what he's there for. So he can be the beating boy that people can just whip about. Tell him to shut the fuck up. So he's now having a go at somebody else for doing that in this. And you notice, he's just talking about Rachie. What's that mean? I'll have a talk. What about everybody else that says a load of fucking stupid shit?
I would say that this is strange because I think that this is his comment, let's say, after this conversation with QE and Rachie, and he is making his comments, but he's not in position to argue. He's like aftermath arguing with her. Why? He's just I would say that's slandering her without really reason. If she said something stupid, you can go, you can hear this conversation, you can judge yourself, and no need to calling names, even if she said some stupid things. It doesn't matter. Why to say that repeatedly during his own stream? I don't understand it. Maybe he is gaining more views for saying that. I don't know.
So. Yeah. I think he's noticed that it's working with Nathan, it's working with Flatsoid, so it's working for all of them. They just sort of, the more they berate people and shout at people, call people names, then they sort of, I think they elevate themselves. The Flat Earth debate team. These are the superstar flat earthers who are going to dictate to everybody what flat Earth is now.
But that would be the same sad method which was used by Red's rhetoric, McToon, etc.
Yes.
So
that's why I say there's no different than that shit that I've heard from all of those people. Because that's what I've heard from those people. Exactly the same stuff Nathan Oakley's now coming out with. QE will be doing it whenever we start talking about the fucking Black Swan or his Black Swan. Yeah, like this is going to come to us because this group of people are, well, I say us, obviously it's going to be me, but yeah, listen to this. It keeps going.
She is desperate to hand wave dismiss relative density, even though it's a scientifically achieved experiment that is repeatable and easy to perform and absolutely correct every step of the way with no exceptions. And she's just not willing to accept that. So she is, in that sense, biased. She's biased and just looking for any excuse to hand wave dismiss relative density, despite it being very scientifically legitimate. And it's unacceptable behavior.
Oh, it's unacceptable.
That's ostracization level behavior. That means you're going to get kicked out of the community, because if you cannot be made to see demonstrable reason, then we don't want to have you around.
Gonna get kicked out of the community. As if these people are allowed to just sort of tell people who's going to get kicked out. What community are they getting kicked out of?
Excommunicado, man.
Yeah.
So what other types of communities do you get excommunicated from?
Yeah. These are the flat earth purists. This is
Let
the
her
flat
be
earth
anathema.
Inquisition.
Yeah. So they anathematize her. Okay, but this is just funny.
Saragaki's back. It's all right.
Do excuse me, I dropped connection.
Discord has an entrance music for people, if that's what, and that's why that's occurred. For those of us with Nitro, yeah, so you get to hear. Right, so listen to it, because I'm going to make a comment soon. I had to go and find a different account because he's banned me.
Okay,
because we don't want to.
Rachel was excommunicated, and
She's
now
been excommunicated. Yeah.
So, but Arwin is doing like this pronouncement. So this is like Herald, who is talking guy.
Arwin starts it, and then we'll see who else is going to pick up on this. Whether, you know, like, because there's people in the chat here. What's this? Jeff Gashead says, I've warned her before for agreeing with trolls. So people in the text chat, in the chat, and the, you know, the YouTube comments are now agreeing with Arwin, and he's saying that he's told her that she shouldn't be agreeing with trolls. Obviously, this community that they're going to excommunicate her from are these people. Maybe some of you in the chat. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know whether our audience is similar or not.
Keep trying to explain to you what is common sense to us. And having to deal with your bickering of your inability to understand common sense that everybody else does understand. Okay, Rachie?
Rachie's not even in the chat.
Figure it out or get the fuck out.
Ooh.
We're tired. We're tired of your whining and complaining about relative density.
We're tired.
It works. It's scientifically demonstrated. You have not done anything to disprove.
It's almost as if Arwin has been sat in a little group of people who have all been moaning and bitching about what Rachie said and what Rachie didn't say. And Arwin's obviously one of the ones that's going to vocalise that now.
I mean, they may be playing out the documentary John Wick.
I don't know.
Well, they might be because because you've got the high table, right? For those of you who've seen John Wick, the high table, those are the elites, those are the people making the decisions, and then you've got the
like the Illuminati, the flat Earth Illuminati.
Yeah, and then you've got the people that run the hotels, or like the heralds, like Arwin here, who just, you know, he's just the messenger. I mean, don't shoot the messenger. The high table has made their pronouncement upon Rachie that she's now excommunicado. I mean, so there you go, right? I mean, that's it. So Arwin is the messenger, the herald of this that they've laid down now. And if you watch any of QE, you know, he's got Jaren with he's pointing a bow and arrow at Jaren's face. So you've also got the executioner as well.
Oh yeah.
You got the assassins. I mean, it's the whole fucking thing right there. This is fantastic, man. I mean, what could possibly go wrong with all of this?
Yeah.
Nonsense.
How it works? Nothing has been disproven concerning relative density. It all works. It will always work. Science doesn't change. If it's established to work, then it will remain working. That's the scientific method.
So once it's approved,
something works, it will always work. Every time.
Like triangles.
There's nothing that's going to change it working. It's something that Jaren doesn't understand. So
Ooh, look at Sharon now as well.
whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, got some big boots now. He's had a go at Rachie.
Rachie has a crush
big
on
enough
Mel,
boots
but
to
that's
have a
even
go
more
with
pathetic
Jaren.
if that's the case. But you might be right, Godzilla. Whatever it is, she does not have a good reason. She does not have a good reason to do this and to follow this shit. On the other hand, she has revealed herself to a level where we now don't really give a fuck anymore what she's gonna do. Because she's fucking stupid. So her cute little videos just are not relevant anymore.
Cute little videos.
It's not even relevant enough to try to rebut
there.
it. Because she's just stupid.
Stupid, you don't understand.
Dell is married. Yep.
Not saying the required words.
Nobody cares.
No.
We're talking about beyond the imaginary curve.
I'm sure she's been explained this many, many times.
Oh, Dell now
Wanker,
as well.
Dell.
Dell.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep, Dell.
Go on, Arwen.
Dell,
Come on,
Rachie,
lads.
Jaren.
Yeah.
Is Bev coming in here somewhere?
I'm finding an account to actually talk to him.
See how many more people we can get on the Inquisition list.
Because I'm curious at this point, right?
You didn't miss
thinking,
out
I
on
quite
anything
agreed with
except
Jaren.
for a bunch of Scottish
When it's like, why is he doing
unintelligible
this?
rants about
Why are
things
they?
where you're not even
I mean, he's
sure
not gone
what he's
against
talking
Dave
about.
Weiss yet, but why is Nathan going
Because his
against Dave
position is so
and
incredibly
Jaren? Like,
vague.
why
and he
not?
constantly mixes up mechanics.
Why
to
not
a
get
degree
on
where
with
there's
people?
literally no cohesion about anything he talks about. His modeling is a clusterfuck.
This isn't the way
All
to
kinds
build
of
a YouTube
descriptions
channel,
and things
is
that
it?
literally don't fit together because he's cognitively incompetent.
Look at it.
Dell.
Wow, Arwen, that's
Angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was ready to overlook that because, hey, I told you on my show like 2 years ago that
Wow.
Dell is cognitively incompetent.
Ooh, he said
But I
it 2
thought,
years
well,
ago.
he's kind of nice.
Nobody
and at
listened
least
to
he
him,
knows
did they?
what position to take until he gets all weird.
He
And then
knows
that
what
changed
position
by
to take.
him
Yeah,
slowly
yeah.
Can you
starting
pause it
to
there?
do
Pause
what
it there
he's
for a
been
second, will
doing
you?
in the last few months.
Talk about that for a
What
second.
do you reckon that position is? I reckon
He
Arwen.
knows
Yeah.
what position to take.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Hey,
Hey, Rob.
Did,
I
so
also
did,
have an opinion when I get a sec.
Yeah. Let me finish up. So does that mean did Dell get some talking points or something? He knew what position to take, as if the talking points came over, and as long as you adhere to the I don't know what
That was.
what would
I
you
guess
call it?
that was then. Because
Yeah, but
it doesn't
don't
seem
go
to be
off
happening
script, right?
now. Yeah, he's gone off script.
Well, did they provide the talking points? I mean, maybe Dell didn't get the talking points. Perhaps there was a screw up in the mail.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. The post office might be as bad as it is over in the UK, over here in America. I mean, maybe that happened, but I don't know what does this mean? Like he knew which position to take.
I don't know.
What the hell does that mean?
It sounds like Arwen wanting to be a bit of a governor. Do you know, he's like, Arwen's been in a room with a group of people that are administering who can be in Flat Earth and who can't be in Flat Earth. And who's a problem for these, their arguments, let's say. The narrative these people want to push and who's pushing against that. That's what all I see at the minute.
Is it my turn now?
Yes.
I just want to say that in the past week, I've heard a lot of jibber jabber, right? But when it comes to science, there's a difference, in my opinion, just my opinion, that there's a difference between science, the pursuit of knowledge, and what's been deemed the scientific method. And I think a lot of people are misconstruing those two things, science and the scientific method. The scientific method will give you proof for you, the experimenter. And I think a lot of flat earthers are missing that whole point. That's all I'll say. Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay.
And now,
unless he's cut
he's
it out.
not siding with good positions. He's just being a jerky, whiny little bitch.
Listen to the language.
Positions, yeah.
Like, I can guarantee you, like Del says, Arwin would not say that to anybody's face. It's what you call
Especially
a
Del's.
keyboard warrior.
So now I'm just gonna say it mercilessly. Del is retarded. He can barely form a coherent sentence. He is inept when it comes to physics and geometric mechanics. Inept. Yeah, you can show all your fucking rulers and your shed with all your tools and all that. Oh, cool. I bet you can make a bench, yeah? I bet you can do that. But when it comes to imagining things and mechanics and consistency and putting it all together and keeping oversight, you're a fucking retard, Del. And you get everything wrong. Everything.
Is Arwin like an engineer, or has got any mechanic background or anything like that?
I don't know. What is he? Is that what he does for a living? Is he an engineer?
Well, I don't know. He seems to be saying a lot about Del. I mean,
he's a dungeon master.
Yeah. It's weird. It's how brave he is as well. I like it. You know, like this, obviously, the Flat Earth debate team is rising up in the ranks. I mean, Arwin, like he's administering justice to Jaren, Raichi, Del.
It's interesting also that he mentions imagining. What did he say? He's incapable of imagining. Is there anything that the FED crew that does or Arwin does that's imagining at all? This goes back to a conversation we had earlier today in the Discord. Y'all need to come into the Discord because we had a discussion about how does one know that they know something? What's the difference between knowledge and imagination? When does an imagination stop being imagination and start being actual knowledge? Interesting. Arwen should choose imagining, the imaginings, because I know someone that's been trying to tell a certain group of people you can do fuck all with an angle, but they keep imagining they can do something with it.
Yeah, they keep imagining a full triangle
out of an angle.
Yeah. It's impressive.
You got wrong. You've barely even made flat earth demonstrations that weren't just blatantly incorrect. Because you're inept.
He's talking about reality. He's doing demonstrations in reality. Del and Andrew, at the minute, at least they're doing something. Look at Arwin. Sat in his room. Moaning about other people that are actually doing something. Who's Arwin talking to?
People in the pews, it sounds
You
like to me.
suck. You're dumb.
Can I ask something?
You're half.
Go on.
No, I just wanted to mention what Del's do. Like, I'm not sure exactly what Del's doing, but I remember him dropping a spring inside a bottle of water.
Rob,
Is that what you're talking about?
yes, Rob. If we get a chance to do that, I'll talk to Del myself.
No, I get it. No, I wanted to make sure I was on point with what I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, we've
I just want to make sure I was late. I'm late to the party. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm
like
late to the party.
The other day, we had Andrew round. We had a good discussion with him. Good talk about this sort of stuff that we're talking about here now. I mean, if somebody wants to talk about what they're doing, they can come round and talk about what they're doing. The main point I want to try and bring up here is that Arwin isn't having any of these discussions with any of these people. But Arwin is administering these whatever judgments on people.
Admonitions.
Right. And we're giving Arwen oxygen.
Yeah, obviously, because this is the reason. Arwen is he's the spokesperson for the Flat Earth Debate Group. And the Flat Earth Debate
I don't
Group...
know about that.
Yeah, he is. Where do you think he's hearing all of this from? He's having conversations with a group of people that are just bitching about other people, saying who can say what and who has the right to say what, where Arwen's not talking to him. I invite Arwen for a conversation many times, and you'll hear what he says about that.
Yeah, I bet. I'm with you, Bev.
The conversations need to be had. And Arwen should really be having these conversations with these people, not just talking like he is doing. Highlighting this sort of behavior.
Half unintelligible, and the other half just doesn't make any fucking sense. Because you're dumb.
Mm.
Fuck off, retard. You don't care about your fucking globe.
There you go.
Hey, Kevlar. Haven't seen you in a while. Was since the Deltardation? I guess you're off that now?
There's no people's names here. Because he's banned them.
Oh, on the replay? I was wondering why I didn't see no red in there. Okay. All right.
Hello?
Oh, look, it's on this one here. Hi, Bev. Godzilla says hi, Bev, but not over here.
Tell us more.
Yeah.
You can't see what?
So Gords was banned as well then, I take it.
Oh,
Okay.
I can't tell anybody what they can tell. I can just warn you, this is fucking garbage. You're not gonna learn anything. Yeah, you want more stuff where you're absolutely gonna learn nothing useful? Go to Bev Try Thinking. Your brain's gonna melt within a matter of a month. You'll literally lose half your intelligence when you stay and hang around there.
That's us here.
Oh.
Yeah.
I should be a mud puddle by now then.
Your attention span, your self-respect, and your cohesion, he sucks it right out of your spirit.
He's telling you about himself.
Cohesion.
So there's another one you need to avoid.
Yeah. Avoid.
As he's excommunicating all these other people as part of the community. We're not even part of the community necessarily.
Yeah,
But
mostly other flat earthers that I know about, they're not really that bad.
that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, Jetron sucks, but I mean, we all know that.
See, he's obsessed with flat Earth. He can't think of anything else. His entire being revolves around flat Earth. And it's not even flat.
That is specific. Their own shows that I know about that really is that terrible.
We are talking about reality.
Dell is terrible.
Look at him. You should everybody should watch lots of people more on YouTube. Especially these smaller channels. Don't just sort of stop watching them. People like watching Arwen.
What's it gonna hurt?
Yeah, I don't know how many viewers he had.
It's gonna hurt my time. I'm not gonna do that. I'm never talking to Bev. I can't stand the guy.
See, look, he can't stand me.
Disgusting sociopath.
Disgusting?
Sociopath?
Yeah.
He is one of the primary people that more than any other flat earther I've ever met can never, ever admit when they're wrong. Under any circumstances, he would literally rather commit suicide than admit
You'd have to be wrong
when
too.
it matters.
Well,
yeah. It matters for his ego.
I'd need to be wrong first.
Sure, he'll admit when he's wrong, specifically ahead of time set up. Like, oh, I'm gonna be wrong, just so I can admit I'm wrong, and I'm good, right? So I can literally never admit when I'm wrong when it's actually important?
I don't know when have I been wrong?
Because he's a sniveling scumbag weasel. And he manipulates. It's his primary objective.
Projection.
Please don't get manipulated by me.
Make them all retarded. Everybody follows him, all their spirits, all
Nobody
fall
follows
down in the witch's cauldron that he keeps stirring all day long.
It's not projection, this at all.
Not projection at all.
No.
It's projection, but not that.
What
Yeah.
are you talking about?
Somebody else is in the chat here. Weiss, he has a bad map. They're all just sort of like, go on, Owen. Say some other shit about other people. Go on.
No, there is no Bev's approach that is for anybody. It's just not wanting to call the Earth flat. That's Bev's method.
Do you want to talk about this?
Bev is this supposed flat earther whose primary objective, which he spent...
I'm not a fucking flat earther. So don't say I'm a supposed flat earther, Arwin. Like, there's no need to get rid of me from the flat earth community. I've never been in it. And people like Arwin and QE and Nathan, they're all upset that I'm not in the flat earth community. Like, what the fuck's going on?
This is like a Catholic leaving their church, going to a mosque and saying, "You have been excommunicated from the Catholic faith, my friend." It's like, what? Wow.
Yeah. Look at these comments up here. They're trying to get him to do that. I said to Gords, that was research, Gords. Watch what happens next. Because Godzilla says, I like Bev's approach. Not for everyone, sure, but geometry is the way he destroys globe. It's how shape is proven, after all.
Indeed.
And like I said to Gods, yeah. I said, do you want to talk about this to Arwin? Like, obviously, he seems a bit upset. Like, that would be the best way to sort this out. He says, I'm wrong. I'll admit to being wrong if I'm wrong. Come on and tell me where I'm wrong, and I'll admit to being wrong, and everyone can go, yay, Arwin, you did it. Like, I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about.
Yes, but he cannot. You said that he would speak to you. He cannot speak to you because his
he won't speak
brain.
to me.
Yeah, because his brain would melt. So it's just self-defense.
Like thousands of hours live on saying the Earth isn't flat. That's his primary goal. On how do you talk about the Earth without saying it's flat? That's his
not flat.
primary goal.
Yes, it's not flat, Arwin.
That should be enough to know that that's a guy you.
That's why we hire.
Go on.
Yeah, I was just saying, we know it's not flat. That's why we hire surveyors.
Yeah.
It's a fucking flat
There would
earther
be no
that's in
elevation
denial.
profiles in the world. No single one. If the Earth were flat.
Zep Tepe's winding him up, saying he's not a flat earther. And Jeff Gasshead, he's not been round. If anybody of you have not seen Jeff for a bit, it says here, Bev's running a cult. So that may be why Jeff's not around. He doesn't want to be involved in. I wasn't aware that we were running a cult, but that's what people say.
It's a little bit ironic, isn't it?
Wait.
Considering what we're listening to right now.
Yeah, I just want to say, what's the name of the cult?
I haven't got a clue.
That you run in Bev?
I don't know. This is what.
All right. Okay.
This is
Okay.
how.
No, I guess you.
This is how reputations are ruined.
Slander.
There's not many people
Slander.
watching us here. Most of the people that are watching us are pretty loyal, and you've been watching us for a long. I don't know how many of you want to bash on us and record shit and hand it over to these Arwin and all that. Perhaps Arwin's listening. I doubt it, by the way he's talking. But I mean, I don't know what people are going on about, what they want to talk about. I'm only here, and I've been in this on YouTube for 4 years to document the conversations that I've had. Just a normal person. I'm not a flat earther. But there is a reality there that you can prove. There are things in reality that are provable. The earth not being flat is one of them.
Yeah, you just go outside and look at the ground.
Let's have a conversation about it. But it seems people like Arwin, Nathan Oakley, Huey, and lots of others, they're just incapable of conversing with people. I don't know what's up. Maybe it's just modern times, 2023. People getting really upset, getting their little group. I mean, they're talking about me having a cult here. Well, it's far from it. Maybe I have a cult of me, and everybody else has an own individual cult here, because everybody is an individual. It's the way everybody gets treated. Arwin would know that if he was to come and have a conversation, but they're so butthurt about something. I don't know what. I think the only thing I can think of is that Arwin gets together with a little group of people and they all just bitch about other people. That's what it sounds like to me. Rather than just talking to people.
I will say there is a culture here.
Yeah, as Emma rightly says, it's Emma's cult. I don't think it's mine.
Yeah.
People just want to get on. It's 2023. It's hard enough for people to live their lives. Nobody needs to hear people like Arwin bitching about people.
That should be enough. Enough to know that that's a guy you need to avoid like the plague.
You need to avoid.
It's a fucking flat earther that's in denial that the earth is flat.
That's me. He's talking about me.
Look.
Right, she's getting excommunicated, and he's pissed off that I'm not a flat earther. That's how bad this flat earth is. Like, how could you possibly want to be involved with this bunch of freaks? Anybody want to sign up for Owen's flat earth debate crew?
Yeah, no thanks. It's also everything the globe people that come here say about you. Exactly the same fucking thing.
That's why I've been saying that all flat earth society, they're all mixed up. They've been in this arena for so long. They're model afflicted. Now, which model are they afflicted by? Well, there's only one, really, isn't there? They're all afflicted by this monad model.
Yeah.
Because it's not reality. Anyone can talk about reality. That's easy for us to do. And we do. We go out there and talk about reality. We do tests in reality. And we make logical arguments to support that technically sort of scientific method with the hypothesis and everything. That's what we do.
I was just gonna say what you want about people like Dell or Execrate or Raichi or Bev or SE, but I've seen videos from all of them actually doing things outside. Actually doing things. That in itself is something to be at least respected. I don't know if I've ever seen a video from any of the FED guys. Maybe I've missed them. If somebody has seen some where they've gone out and actually done something in reality instead of sitting in a room talking or sitting on a panel talking. Now, to be fair, I'm not one of the people who have gone out and done any of these tests, but I know people that have, and I can respect it.
Hey, you've been in the Discord when we went out there?
Yeah, I've watched it on video. I can say that. Absolutely.
Don't know whether
I've seen what
Arwen's
you
even
guys
done
have
that.
showed. Yeah. I mean, there's something to be said for that. I've seen, several other people doing laser waving, those kinds of things. I think there's a bit of an issue with optics, but nonetheless, hey, if you're out there, good, great. Let's have a conversation. Do we have to necessarily come to the same conclusion? Is that a rule somewhere? Is that what Arwen is thinking? That by having a conversation, you automatically have to accept the other person's conclusion? Or can you just have a conversation about something?
Yeah, you have to repeat what they say as well. They give you the script, and if you don't repeat what they say, then excommunicated. Off you go. Get out of here. But not for me. It's the opposite for me.
Yeah. For you,
reason,
you need to be
he's
in the
upset
arena.
That I'm not saying it's flat, which he obviously fucking isn't.
I cannot think of a way to waste my time worse than that, except maybe watching Jaren.
Oh, see, put me on a par with Jaren.
Well.
No, I've never watched that Steamy Traveler. Can observe, not flare. No, you can't.
But I put observing the Earth to be not flat is an observable phenomena, right?
It's demonstrably flat. And if you deny that, you're a liar. Or you're too retarded to be able to figure out the truth.
Here you go. Do you want me to do that again, right? This is Arwen. After I've put in there, observing the Earth to be not flat is an observable phenomena. You can see that.
Not flare. No, you can't.
In background, he has mountain. So
Yeah,
in order to deny that the Earth is flat, you have that it isn't flat. You have to deny this mountain.
Yeah.
So this is just.
Well, he is a flat earther, right? It's one of the cream of the crop of the flat Earth debate crew, right? He's the one that's administering who's allowed into the club and who's got to get out like a bouncer. Arwen at the door.
Well, there was a guy, if I'm not mistaken, who said somebody measured the mountain flat.
Yeah. Al Baruni. That was Nathan Oakley. So it's
was it Nathan? Yeah.
Yeah, so Al Baruni, Nathan Oakley says Al Baruni's measured the mountain flat. And then he went up the mountain after measuring it flat.
Why would you do such a thing?
Okay, now I understand. This mountain is flat, so it doesn't violate flat Earth. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Look.
Earth is flat. It's demonstrably flat.
Demonstrably.
And if you deny that, you're a liar. Or you're too retarded to be able to figure out the truth.
There you go. So I've been called a liar a lot, right? So according to Arwen, if you don't say that mountain's flat, then you're a liar, obviously. Just too retarded to be able to know that the mountain is flat, demonstrably flat.
Yet you're a flat earther. You're just a flat earther who won't say you're a flat earther.
Yeah. Because I can see that it's not flat, whereas Arwin says it demonstrably is flat. So, I mean, that should be easy one to sort out. If Arwin ever wants to come and have a discussion about this, Arwin, you know where we are. I know you might be sick or whatever, but I mean, you do whatever you can.
We can talk about flat mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah, also, I do seem to remember that Arwen has once upon a time paid a visit a few times.
Yeah, he was pissed out of his head.
He was very, very, very drunk.
Yeah.
Every time he ever came over to talk. So make of that what you will.
Yeah, that's the only way I know Arwin out of his shows is absolutely pissed out of his head. Babbling some crazy shit. I know he does that normally anyway, but like, imagine that with alcohol. Like a lot of alcohol as well.
It's only those two options. You're a liar or you're too retarded to figure out the truth.
So there's only two options. If you don't go along with that, the mountain's either flat or you're just too retarded to figure it out. They're the only two options. Flat Earth debate crew.
So you need to start with mountain flat.
Yeah.
If you don't start with mountain being flat, you are retarded.
Yep. Flat Earth debate crew.
How can a mountain be flat? Ever.
Well, I mean, look, you might be with Ratchet, you might get excommunicated from Flat Earth.
That was done a long time ago.
Just for me, that I can't recognise the mountain as being flat.
No, you know what? I just get ignored, Bev.
Yeah.
It's like I don't exist.
You want Arwin to have a go at... You have to make some cute little videos, you know.
I'm not into making cute little videos. Sorry.
Pick if you like.
Take your pick. Either mountain's flat or you're retarded.
Wonder if
I don't like those options.
Yeah, me too. I really do.
Yeah, but these options are given by Arwin, so you have no other choice.
Flat Earth Sage says, I wonder if Jared is being
hey, Kevlar,
paid to
I
be
got a
dumb.
tip for you. How about stop bringing that up or I fucking ban you again? I don't want to have anything to do with fucking Bev ever. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to have him in my chat. And I definitely don't want to go to his channel to hear him talk.
Oh,
okay,
that's a
Kevlar?
shame.
Is that cleared up?
That's no rad.
Not gonna talk with Bev. Is that clear? Yeah?
He's
I'd rather go.
What do you think he's gonna put?
JG Gonzalez's stupid little ball channel and talk with him. I'd rather do that than go on fucking Bev.
Whoa.
Alright?
See, look
Got
at
your
the
marching
anger.
orders there.
Oh, he should be snarling. You see his tash move then? Look at that.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I find the
You do
guy
bring that out in front of
highly,
people, that-
highly repulsive.
Repulsive.
Jose still has a channel? I think so. It's not kicked off or anything. I don't know if he's regularly doing anything. It's just an example. Yeah, I'd rather go on Trashy Ballers than talk with fucking Bev. I cannot stand that guy.
To people. It is.
He viscerally repulses me.
Whoa.
I find people that are delusionally megalomaniacal and in utter permanent denial, incapable of ever admitting they're wrong. I find those people like
I think it's because I don't think that
and
mountain's
Bev is
flat.
like one of the worst I've ever
Therefore
seen.
I'm a
He's,
liar.
Those types of people.
He's never looked in a mirror before, obviously.
Well, he's not projecting. Obviously.
He must cover every single mirror in his house.
With his mountain in the background.
Can I bring up something that I'm seeing here in the chat on the left side? Maybe it is on the right side as well, but on the left side of his face there.
Yeah.
So who is that? Divergent Droid
Yeah.
says on the level, just telling you it's what we and or the scientific method means when we speak of observable phenomena.
Yeah.
Oh, before he says it tells you incorrect. I imagine because you said isn't it not flat at observable phenomena?
Yeah. What observing the Earth not being flat is an observable phenomena. Like you can
So
go, hey, look, the Earth is not flat.
Yeah, so he says, or she, I don't know what, says the observable phenomenon is something moving, something happening you wish to know the cause and effect relationship for. The scientific method is used to test this. I would say that if the Earth is observably not flat, i.e., mountains, and you're saying the Earth is observably flat, what's making the observably not flat thing observably flat? Wouldn't that be a natural phenomenon to check out?
I think what he was saying is that a phenomena is something happening. So just looking at something not happening isn't a phenomenon.
Right, but I may be not being clear enough, and that's definitely possible. To me, what's happening here is two people are making the claim about this potentially the same thing. I say potentially the same thing, right? One is saying the Earth is observably flat. The other one is saying the Earth is observably not flat. Something is actually happening in order to get that kind of dichotomy. What's happening?
And I would say that it is not about happening, but in a scientific method, we are talking about a phenomenon. It means that something is changing, but you are talking about Earth being not flat. It means that we are talking about property of the thing, not phenomenon, because it is not changing into flat or not flat or whatever. It is as it is. So when he is talking about flat Earth, he is giving this predication upon the Earth, which does not add with this picture in background, for example. So we have contradiction, because our senses are telling us that the Earth is not flat, and he insists that the Earth is flat. So he is denying his own senses.
Yeah, but he's also telling me that I'm never saying that I'm wrong. So he's expecting me to say that I am wrong in saying that I can see it's not flat. Like I'm meant to just sort of say, oh yeah, sorry, Arwin, I must have been mistaken. Like that's not going to happen because it's just fucking not flat.
Yes, this is flat Earth political correctness. So
the flat Earth purists. Nonsense. Yeah, and this is half of the reason I think that the flat Earth gets laughed at. Because, I mean, it's obviously not flat, but now you've got Arwin telling people who's allowed in and out of his club and who should be saying it is flat when it obviously isn't. Like, they're trying to include me, and look at his behaviour. Like, who'd want to be part of it? I don't want to be part of this.
I never want to talk to him. I find him extremely repulsive.
Repulsive? Oh. He talks in a bit about never singling anybody out. Like, he's not that sort of a person.
Jose got tired of losing arguments? Yeah, perhaps. But I mean, I don't think he ever really cared about losing or winning arguments. He was just doing it for the community, for the hassle of it. That's what he's been saying anyway.
Started talking about arguments, so obviously. I think I put something in about arguments.
Yeah, on the level. Get out of here, you fucking faggot.
Wow.
Death-tart fuckwit.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here and never come back, yeah? Go drown in your fucking retard witch kettle. Go and drown in your
That's
own
here.
retardation. Yeah,
Oh, the
fuck
anger.
off.
Yeah.
Wanting someone to drown.
Go to Bev and fucking turn into a Bev zombie over there. And don't come back here. You hear?
You hear?
Goodness.
Yeah. He had to wipe his brow there.
Mm-hmm.
Jose never
Yeah,
had
if you
any-
want to be
yeah,
in
that is
Arwen's
true,
cult, you
Zep
can't
Debbie. That
go
is
and watch
actually
anyone
technically
else.
correct.
Yeah, I think he says
He
that.
was
to
always kind of
Kevin a bit.
neutral, like I don't give a shit guy, but if there's baller around, then I will like side with them and make baller arguments. But he didn't really care. I mean, Jose like admitted that he was doing it more for the social scene of it than for the actual information.
Yeah, Arwen does it
He did
for
it
the
for the
information,
scene, not for
obviously.
the information.
Yeah, that's pretty clear.
It's ram-packed with information, this.
At least that's what he told me. So, on air. I've been on this show a couple of times. I've watched Bev's show one time, and then after half an hour, I had to click it away
He's been over
and
it for longer than
unsubscribe
that.
because otherwise I was going to smash my skull against the wall to crack it open.
Wow.
Just so I could forget about having to sit through that incredibly aggravating waste of time.
Right, whoa.
The anger.
Yeah.
The demons come out, man.
I have this effect on everybody, really.
Want to come by for a chat?
on?
Oh, so you hang around Bev's, do you, Kevlar?
Look, listen to this.
Yeah.
Oh, here goes.
I thought
Here
so.
it goes.
Yeah. Last time I kicked you out for that too.
He kicked him out for
Oh,
coming
I
round
find
here.
people
For associate with
that
Bev.
actually think that promoting Bev or recommending him in any form is highly offensive.
It's offensive.
You're human trash to me because of that, Kevlar.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. You can't recommend anybody else and say,
And I'm
like,
not
come
joking,
over
and
a
I'm
chat.
not exaggerating.
You sound like
That's
you're
exactly what I feel about that. Yeah. I mean, to
I'm
me,
getting the
it's
idea
like
you
you're
won't come by
literally
for a chat.
promoting
need to
Hunter
come and get
Biden
some
as being a
demons out,
great
doesn't
friend
he?
to hang around.
Yeah.
That's what that feels like to me.
Come over here, Owen, and
come
exercise
over to
them
Bev.
demons.
What, to
Come
that
on.
fucking weaselly, disgusting, lying sociopath. No fucking thanks.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a fucking sociopath slave for even suggesting such
There
a
you
thing.
go.
I won't have anything to do with you then, Kevlar. I'm not gonna necessarily ban you, but I'm definitely gonna make this blatantly clear to you, so that there's no misunderstanding about my position in this.
Be like, so you don't want to come over and talk to Bev then?
No, he would go through a purification process after that. Because,
That's
a-
fine.
After talking
Godzilla,
to you.
can make.
I'm
a
getting the
fair
idea you
assessment
won't
about
want-
it. I don't care. I don't care. I find it extremely repulsive, and I want nothing to do with him. And that's final.
So that's a no then. Godzilla says, I
should
think
learn
Bev is
something."
overly pedantic. Because, to be fair, the Earth is not flat in the most technical sense. But he knows it's not a globe. Wish we could all get along.
Oh, Jake the
Yeah,
asshole.
yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Right. Yeah.
Oh,
But
Jake the
this is
asshole's
not
another one, bring it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough, Supreme Knowing. I mean, Jake the asshole is. Well,
Hang on a minute,
kind of
Bev.
an asshole. But,
What would
yeah.
what would happen if we all stood by and went, so it's hard, just ignore it, let them do their own thing, don't say anything,
Yeah.
don't be pedantic about things.
Isn't that what we've been doing? Like, just sort of going along, just doing what we do. I mean, Why for the drama? Like, where's it get you?
I don't know what's the issue with being, thorough with something and talking that I don't understand why that's an issue.
The devil is always in ambiguity. So if you are pedantic, you don't allow these demons to come out, these strange, unscientific ideas. So it prevents you to bring this unnecessary beings into our reality. It goes under cut of Occam's razor. So if you are just pedantic and accurate, you will prevent that. So, and this is very very good in science. So it is recommended. So
Well, I
nothing
think
bad.
it's good in everything, because otherwise you end up in the situation we're in now, where men can be women.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah,
says
I
anything
agree.
because
Yeah,
it's okay. It's okay. Let them it's fine. Words don't mean anything now.
yes, and it started somewhere in with ambiguity, or adding some word which was not necessary in some context. It starts always in the same way. For me, it is very important to stop something at the beginning. Don't allow to roll it, and because it is like avalanche. So it is going faster and faster, and at some point you just cannot stop it because it is going too fast. So it is better to stop it at the beginning.
Yeah, I'd like to say, gods. I mean, there's no need for you to explain anything about whatever you were saying, right? People have their own idea. Like I was trying to explain to you, the old Bev, try thinking, was researching within an arena. Now, it took me quite a while to get to the position I'm in, but I now know that I'm ready to do what I came here to do. But like, I know that I've put myself in a really bad position to start off with, but it's like hard mode. It's going to be much more fun doing what we do now. Like, this is a change. These people like Arwin's doing here, Nathan Oakley, QE, all of these people that have given us a load of shit and lied about us. Well, the truth's going to come out. Like Arwin just said then. He said he's been over here and he watched a video. He hasn't. He's actually been in the Discord talking to us. Pissed out of his head. He won't be able to remember any of the times he actually came over here. And that was way back when Sleeping Warrior was doing these bullshit routine with Ranty. We've experienced a lot of stuff in learning where we are right now. The position we're in has got us to understand a lot more about this arena than people realise. Just because we've kept quiet and we haven't made hit videos on people, calling people names and doing all of that sort of stuff, it doesn't mean that we didn't have all of the dirt on everyone. Because we've seen it all. There's people that have left this community because of the things we know. They're never going to come back. They can't face it. We know too much. So the arguments are still there. We're going to stick to what we want about the arguments and the conversations. But be aware, we know a lot more than what we've spoken about. And if you want to know it, come into the Discord. That's where it all happens. There's only about 6 minutes of this left.
Because I don't like that guy. He literally used hard drugs on his freaking on camera. That's just a no-go zone for me. That's like blatantly indecent. That's like having sex on camera. You don't do that ever. The guy is trash. But yeah, he might have gotten some opinions right about Jaren specifically. I got into this fight with him, and he might have some good points there.
Flat Earth Sage,
but I don't like the guy.
Always seems a bit weird to me.
Creep fest,
I don't even know who Flat Earth Sage is.
It's like
but he's called himself Flat Earth Sage.
I mean, Jaren is.
He's a Flat Earth member.
Well, no, I can't say that. Jaren is terrible in another way. They're both just as terrible, just in different ways. I don't know.
He's very judgmental, is Arwen, isn't he?
I don't want trash anymore.
People aware of exactly
I want flat
what
earthers
goes on.
that are morally upright, that stand up for themselves.
Morally upright.
He wants flat earthers that are morally upright, that stand up for themselves.
Okay, so they are not, because if he wants them to be that way, it means that they are not.
Yeah, he wants them to say whatever he says and dictate stuff to them. But he thinks that's being morally upright. He's got a twisted mind, obviously.
He wants to set up his own rules as objective rules for Flat Earth.
And didn't he say that we were a cult?
Yeah.
No. Of course we are, and he is not.
Yeah.
And he was talking about Bev being megalomaniac. No, of course, this is not a projection. Certainly.
Couldn't be. Super chat in from Kev. Kev says, all we want are the conversations, not the sermons or the talking points. That's right. Anybody will know, if you come in here, then the conversations that we have are free conversations. Nobody gets upset or offended at people saying things, and especially if people have different ideas. I mean, that's completely allowed and expected. Arwen seems to think there's some sort of a dictatorship or something, that there isn't. We just take reality for what it is. It seems like Arwen's trying to dictate stuff. It's really weird. But yes, like Kevin says, all we want is the conversations, because the conversations are where we learn about each other. To me, Arwen's just saying stuff. He's never talked to any of these people. He's slagged me off and said that he'll never come and talk to me. Well, how's that going to get anyone anywhere? What's Arwen going to learn? But a lot of people do think that this is a cult here, but I don't know where they could get that information from. Perhaps it's from people like Arwen, who never come over here.
And that aren't just double-speaking, backstabbing, egotistical, megalomaniacal, sociopathic scumbags. And it seems...
That's what he doesn't want. He doesn't want anyone like that, Arwen. Just good, morally upright.
Morally upright.
People.
Yes, upright.
Yeah.
I think that he is maybe paid for that. He has to say a certain amount of these words.
You reckon?
For example, for 1 hour or half an hour, and he will be paid, because, or maybe he likes it. It is of course morally upright to like that, but he likes this.
Seems to be really hard to find them anymore.
It's hard to find people like that. Wonder why that is, Arwin. Can't get anyone to join the Flat Earth gang. Flat gang,
Told me
baby.
that he unsubbed as per your rules. I don't know what that means.
That's Kev telling him that I've unsubbed.
But yeah, I might have told Bev to unsubscribe and get the fuck out and never come back. Yeah, fine, do that then. I don't need you to follow me. I don't want your sniveling comments on what I do.
If I
find you repulsive, I find you to be a gatekeeper, a saboteur to that which is good, just to satisfy your own hunger for your ego. I want nothing to do with that guy at all. I don't want to have any form of association with him, even remotely.
That's me, that.
If I were malicious, I would say that you shouldn't go there. Because
I only went over there because I wanted to ask him about Jaren and why Nathan would, like Jaren said in that conversation that he was having with Nathan, he said, I can't understand why Nathan doesn't want to be on board with Dave. Like, Dave's got an app that thousands of people go to. Like, why doesn't Nathan want to be associated with that? If he's after more subs and the like. It just seems wrong to me. That's what I mean, that's all I want to know. And all you end up with is people like Arwin pushing other people out. So how are these people going to gain new people? Like, what sort of people are going to watch Arwin and go, oh, I want to be on Arwin's team? They sound like the best people, you know. You could get the best conversations and the best arguments, full of information, telling you about people in the community, you know, where to go, who's the best people to go and talk to about these different things.
By after listening to Arwin like that for an hour, I would say that this flat Earth would be reluctant for them. So I don't know if Arwin is really doing good job by making that kind of hangouts. Let's say, for me, it is just inverse advertisement for his cause. So
yeah, he's doing a very good job of showing me all of the people that I don't ever want to associate with, because
exactly
those people in that chat are supporting this behavior, right? And they can say, oh, I'm just there for the laughs and whatever. No, you are actively supporting it, right? If you didn't watch him, would he make these videos? Probably not. So while everybody continues to watch him and send him money, he'll continue to make these videos. So you're supporting him making these kinds of videos. I find that incredibly, I'm going to swear, fucked up.
Yeah, somebody's just put in the chat there, the first time chat, thank you very much. The anger is so off-putting, even if he was dropping truth bombs, it would not be received. And that's right. I don't know what's going on with this is YouTube. This is, you know, it's meant to be content creators working together to, you know, especially Arwin thinks he's on the side of truth, the flat mountain truth that, you know, administers justice amongst flat earthers, even people that he wants to call flat earthers. But he called me a gatekeeper. He said I'm the gatekeeper.
And he's the one sat there going, you're banned, you're not a flat earther, you're out. Yeah. His whole stream is just like pure projection.
Well, people watch him, obviously, for the same reasons people go to Jem Pandas or Nathan Oakley. They want to see the drama, right? They want to hear him say stupid shit. So I think this is the model they're going with. It's exactly the same as what Fight the Flat Earth did early on. And Red's rhetoric, like Paper was saying. And it doesn't end well. I mean, look at Red's rhetoric. He's had to leave again. I think that was the trigonometry, spherical trigger. Did his head in. He had to go. People go too far into an argument and then realise they're left in aporia. Last bit.
Talking about Bev. Jake, I don't really care about. I mean, I've never even like seen a live stream from Jake, so or maybe one time I did see it, but I just.
Talking about me, I'm a gatekeeper. I don't know a gatekeeper for what.
What if Bev says that he likes Illuminati croissants? Prove it. What if Bev just fucking proves anything he's ever said once in his fucking life? What about that? What about Bev proving anything that he's ever said in his entire fucking life one time? How about that?
My goodness.
I can say that
it's because
you
we have actually proved something, right?
Yes, for example, this one thing that the Earth is not flat.
Yeah.
So I can hear this proof as a proof in a form of valid syllogism or modus ponens. So, in fact, yes, you produced that proof. So,
I'm fine with knowing that. Yeah, I've proved lots of things, but one of the things that I'm pretty proud of, really, is that proving that level is horizontal. That's one of the proofs along the way to prove that the Earth is not flat, by the way.
You're gonna make Arwen bang his head against a wall. Honestly, he's gonna have to do it.
He's unsubbed already, so he'll not be watching any of this. But do you want to watch that again? Because I quite like this. I don't know whether to put it on some sort of a video or something, an intro.
Bev just fucking proves anything he's ever said once in his fucking life. What about that? What about Bev proving anything that he's ever said in his entire fucking life one time? How about that? I don't give a fuck about what he thinks.
Can't be good for him.
Yeah, it's well. Be losing his hair. Anger like that.
Still watching Jake. He's talking about Hawaii. All right, Dank, cool. Thanks for the update.
You best end the stream, Arwen.
Right, but I am actually gonna run out. Jesus, I'm over 4 hours. Today's show is even longer than yesterday. How about that?
Time flies when you're putting everybody on the rack.
Good. And more for me then.
Right?
Yeah.
Jaron wants to... Okay, into the break. That's a bit too far. We get the point. Right, so thanks everyone for coming here. Having this extra long show 2 days in a row. And also very much thank you for all the support. I mean, I got a lot. Really, really appreciate that. Special shout out to Stone Monkey for first time big support. Really appreciate that.
He was saying at the
So
beginning.
if you like the show, then please don't forget to Rogan's it up. And
tea,
if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you know when I go live, which is normally 1 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekdays and 2 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekend. And please also do support me for the PayPal and the Patreon, and thank you for all the support that came in. I really appreciate it. It will keep me going. So yeah, successfully supported Arwin. I will be sticking around. So I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 1696, back on a Monday, so it's going to be back to
So
1
we've
p.m.
got who was it?
Hope to see
Who
you
was
all
it, Bev?
there. I'll try to be as
Stone Monkey that we've got to thank for that.
Stone Monkey, yeah, for supporting
Arwin and
Arwin.
making him stick around.
Yeah, yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely. Thanks, Stone Monkey. Thank you. Well done. I really hope you're proud of yourself.
There we go. People are... Let's have a look at the chat. Yeah, good. I mean, we know, but I mean, I did that purposely to expose, well, let's say both sides. It's a true statement. The Earth is not flat. Everyone's going to agree to that, apart from people like Arwin and Nathan Oakley. And they're obviously crazy. They're mad. Model afflicted. So if anybody wants to have a conversation about the proof that we have, and coincidentally, you have to have a proof that the Earth's not flat, and then people should be saying, how can you prove that? And then you take through the methods. Well, that proof is that level is horizontal, and all elevation changes would be measured from a horizontal baseline, which we call level. The tool's called level. It establishes a horizontal plane. I can't just make that statement. That has to be proved. So how do you prove that? Well, that's what we do here. Actual proofs. Come into the Discord. People have been asking me to put it in video. Do you know why that is? Because people call me a flat earther. Then they'll be able to say that the proof that the Earth is not flat is a proof that the Earth is flat. That's what they'll do. So we have to separate ourselves from flat earthers. I'm sorry, guys, but I mean, truth is the Earth's not flat. Also, level is horizontal. I mean, if you want to go and take any of the methods we've got, the proofs, the tests, the realizing Euclid tests, there's loads of them, of which we will be doing plenty of them. But it's not a proof that the Earth is flat, because the Earth is not flat. And people like Arwin are obviously upset that the proofs we have show the Earth to be not flat. Now, if you want to have a different conversation, like I've heard just recently, that the flat Earth is about just horizontals being parallel, or the fact that level is horizontal has now become a flat Earth thing. So it seems as though the globe side of the argument have decided to move away from people like Arwin, and they've shifted the balance of what they now deem flat Earth to be. Mainly, I'd say, because somebody's got a proof. We have proofs. People don't like to hear that. So if you want to know about the proofs and all of that, just come on in. It may not be what you think it is, since reality is what reality is. And yeah, we're gonna I'll be making a video, I think, going over Flatsoid's latest video. and I'm hoping to get a chat with Jared.
And Platzoid's last is about what? Because I
It's about
haven't seen.
Flatzoid showing everybody that he's like Arwen excommunicated Rachi from the community. Well, Flatzoids is explaining and doing the same to Jaren. Just a 6-minute video explaining about sextant angles, getting it all wrong, saying about some black swan thing, how it proved something. Don't know, probably getting it wrong.
Strange.
Yeah.
Strange.
But basically it was telling everybody that Jaren isn't a flat earther for some reason. But
so if he's not flat earther, so you cannot excommunicate him, because if someone is outside, you cannot excommunicate him.
Well, yeah, he's like done it in one go. He's just got him out. So there is a group of flat earthers that are just going around putting out, I don't know whether it's drama videos, but like Dave said earlier in the chat, that Jaren's not going to make any videos about Nathan. He doesn't even know who Flatzoid is. Yet Jaren and Flatzoid and QE and Arwen are just doing, I don't know. Most people will decide whatever they're doing, whatever the community you want to think there is. Obviously, this little tiny arena that we're in is like, this is a core group of people that imagine that they do everything. I'd say pretty much the same group of people.
Takes hold.
Sorry, Jackie, in and out again. Yeah, I would imagine that these Jaren's not going to be bothered, but these guys are going to have to do something. And what's that going to mean to the frantic bunny ears flat earth community now? Because you're separating different types of flat earthers. Like Arwen separated us into some sort of one of these categories. So, like, what are they? There's the purists. You've got the American side of people, and Jaren. Bob's not even around anymore. Don't know what's happening with the Globebusters outfit. Nathan Oakley's doing his little bit. And then you've got loads of little communities on Discord and, you know, different places. There's flat earth communities on Twitter, Facebook. None of them get together. People like Nathan Oakley and Arwen are the ones that publicly put videos out there berating people. I don't think Jaren does any of that, but I mean, I don't know. I've not watched any of this sort of stuff. I'm only concerned in arguments, really. But fascinating watching the people and the things that people like to think that they're going on about. God, like, to be honest with you, I've been in an arena for 4 years now, at least 4 years, seriously asking a group of people what they have for proof and what they've done. In that time, I've done optic tests, we've done a level test, we've done the straight line within a plane test, the realizing Euclid. I've done optics on the beach to show you how far everyone can see, to disprove the guy that said the parallels, the plumb lines aren't parallel. So I've debunked every surveyor that the globe has ever had. I don't think I need to do anything else. People don't seem to know what a proof is or what it is they want within the community. To me, it just seems that the globe Earth and the flat Earth just want to be left alone. They don't want anybody to come in and disrupt their little arguments that they have going round, circular arguments. And that's fine. Because it's going to eat itself. I've seen this happen to communities all over the place. Self-righteous communities become too accustomed to their own you've seen it, Red's rhetoric, the big scams that they were doing. That's all of this flat earth stuff, especially the Nathan Oakley and Arwin and Flatsoid. It's just generating drama where it's not needed. Yeah, good. I mean, yes, we are well aware now that I always have been, but now the argument is that the Earth is not flat. If you have that argument, you are a flat earther. Now, if people can't see how ridiculous that is, then fair enough. And also, we've pointed out that if you aren't willing to accept a contradiction, then you are also a flat earther. There will be many more flat earthers made within this, because in order for you to not be a flat earther, you have to take on a dogmatic system, which we can also prove. We can prove the dogmatic globe, or we can prove the globe dogmatic, one or the other. We can prove all sorts of things, because reality gives us the ability to do that. Nobody's having a go at anybody. Gods. I mean, people do think I'm pedantic and all of that, but it's for a purpose. We've been showing people what happens when you just stick to simple, basic truths. That's it. You don't even need to be a flat earther to be a flat earther. And it's not that anybody's bothered about it. I talk to flat earthers all the time. But I do have to ask them, how do you deal with the contradiction? That's what I've been studying. Studying people and contradictions. And there are people that have to accept contradictions. It normally turns them mad. That's why there's so many crazy people in this arena. Not a curve to what though, Gourds? There are curves. There's curves everywhere. if you're talking about level and a water level being horizontal, well, that's the proof. We've literally got the proof of that. But that doesn't make the Earth flat. It just means that level's a tool for establishing a horizontal plane of reference. It's weird. There is proofs in reality, but you have to accept some simple truths. One of them being that the Earth's not flat. It's a ridiculous point to start off a conversation with. And I hope Flat Earth Charles and Betty is doing okay. There's some really big breakthroughs that we've done through logic and argumentation, and you'd be surprised at how simple it now is to show people contradictions that they might hold. But the problem is that these contradictions that people probably do hold, once you place these two things together in people's minds, it's a dangerous thing. Although they might have been walking around with these contradictions for years, accepting that both of them, you know, are true in their own sense, but place them together, a contradiction shown. What happens to the mind at that point? Yeah, well, I mean, what we've been learning and what I've been learning over this time is that if there is a conversation to be had and proofs to be given and, you know, an understanding to come to, the moment a model is brought in, within this arena, people are severely model afflicted and they cannot keep the model out of it. Well, that restricts and limits how you can accept certain things. And people get really defensive about these ideas. It stops them from thinking clearly. And people have probably been in this arena. Some people have been in this arena for, I mean, they'll tell you 8, 10, 13 years. 13 years of being obsessed about it either being a model that you can't prove or trying to prove to somebody that their model that they have that they can't prove isn't real without having a proof of your own. That's got to be hard work, that. 13 years, and the best you've got is you can point an angle measuring device at a light in the sky. And then from that, you can decide that it's either flat or a ball. I mean, that's nothing. They're like, why are you people doing that?
I think that this is all part of the fundamental, maybe difference about, or in regards to our Discord server and maybe others in this quote unquote arena, is we're not here specifically for this arena. Like, we're not here to pick one side or the other, or prove one side or the other, or try to prove one or the other. Bev said it many times, right? We're here for the conversations, for the logic, for the geometry, for the philosophy. That's why we're here, which is why we want the conversations. But we also have to be true to, especially in philosophy, right? The laws of identity, the laws of non-contradiction, the laws of excluded middle. So some people will call that pedantic. Like, I get it, but we have to be true to that here. And at least for me, I'll speak for me, I will be. Always true to that.
Yeah, I think people have to be honest with yourselves whenever you're coming into this and say, well, you can't prove that the earth is flat. And obviously, you cannot prove that the earth is a globe. Mainly because you've got to start off with your definitions. And obviously, if you start off with earth, you then have to either capitalize it and put it as a whole or include water.
Yep, exactly.
So that's your first problem. And then you've got your problem of it being flat. So is flat smooth without any surface irregularities? Or is it like mountains and valleys and stuff? Is that what you're going to call flat? And what you're going to call globe? That's why you're never going to prove either of those. But you can definitely prove it's not flat. And by the sheer lack of proof that it is globe, and a lot of other things, right? A lot of other arguments, you can prove it's not a globe. Everybody knows 'tis globe.
No, I would add to that that you can prove that it is not a globe, it means a sphere, because assuming sphere will lead you into paradoxes. And reality cannot produce paradoxes.
Right.
So it is impossible. This model is impossible because creates paradoxes. It means that in this reality, you have to assume that if you assume that globe and sphere is real, and we live on a sphere, that would imply paradoxes in reality. We should observe paradoxes in real life, because that is what model dictates. And of course, we don't observe paradoxes. Therefore, it is impossible model and does not exist.
Yep. So, I mean, anybody's free to come for conversations. We do tend to stick with, well, I personally like to deal within contradictions. It's my favorite method. Some people like a challenge and some people don't. I would say if you don't handle contradictions too well, then I don't know, maybe don't bother coming in. But if you do like challenging yourself, with definitely, which will definitely be conversations that you haven't had anywhere else, come on in on the Level Discord. Yeah, the gods, you're talking about people giving people labels. Well, people give me the label of flat earther and I say it's not flat. I will give you proof it's not flat. If that proof happens to come along with level being horizontal, which also seems to be a proof that it's not a globe. So what do you do if that is the case? Right? What if one proof that it's not flat also is something that the globers end up calling you a flat earther for? Isn't it any wonder why nobody wants to hear this proof? The flat earthers don't want to hear it because it's a proof that it's not flat. And the globe earthers, you'd think they'd have had a go at seeing a proof that it's not flat. But oh no, wait a minute. it contains a proof of level being horizontal, which the globers consider to being flat. Who's in the contradiction? Who's placed in contradiction there? Seems to me the flat earthers have just got to admit that it's just not flat. The globe earthers have a much harder time, because in their proof that it's not flat is it, well, I mean, they can't have it being a proof that it's not flat, can they?
Yes, that's ridiculous.
Imagine being placed in that position to go and see a proof of it not being flat, and you have to say, no, that is a proof that it is flat. It almost seems like when Arwin says that the mountain's flat, that he's working for a different side. Like,
maybe he's 2D ball proponent. I don't know. Who knows? Two-dimensional sphere with flat mountains.
Yeah, that's the point, gods. 4 years I've spent letting people know that we have proof. Right? Now, if I'd have said we've got proof of level being horizontal, they'd have said, that's flat earth. You can't have that. Get it out of here. But it's not flat. If you wrap it up in a proof that the earth is not flat, and then present it, and then the globers, everybody else will say, well, yeah, obviously it's not flat. But the globe earthers will say it is a proof of it being flat. Who's looking fucking ridiculous?
And what you've just said proves that globe earth versus flat earth is false dichotomy.
Yeah. They're all on the same team. Spent 4 years letting people know that. And if nobody's been able to see that, then welcome to the time to have your eyes opened. Who are the flat earthers that can see a proof of the earth not being flat? Who's the brave ones? Because it seems as though people like Arwin and Blue Marble Science and Nathan, none of them can see this proof. Because they're all on the same team. Prove me wrong. Who's going to come and prove me wrong about this? No, you know, nobody can come and talk about it. I'm talking about people like Nathan Oakley, QE, Flatside, Arwin, Blue Marble Signs. None of those can talk about it. It's going to be the topic in this Discord server. So if you want to come and see the new argument that sort of exposes a certain type of flat earther as being similar to a certain type of globe earther. Big Pine. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, Big Pine. Flag, you might come to get used to him. There's some characters in this arena. But like I say, if anybody wants to come in, have a conversation about any of this stuff, you're free to come in, have a conversation. Ask us what proofs are, but be prepared. There is, let's say, advanced simplicity method that we have that starts at the foundations and builds up from there. And it's real. Actually something that you can actually do. I'm hoping that we'll get a few people out doing the realizing Euclid tests. Yeah, so welcome to the new people in the chat. Hope you stick around. Does anybody want to go over anything else? I don't know what else we were going to go over. I'm going to have to go over the flat side one. But yeah, it seems to me that this flat earth, that a lot of people have built their, say, would it be right to say hatred? I mean, I know Arwin has a lot of anger. So he's the other side. Betty has taught us about the side rule, which I suppose I was aware of, but Betty made it a bit more obvious that within the arena or within any conversation that you're ever having with anyone, think about all of this. If you imagine that the person you're talking to is opposing you, they're on another team, a different side, then you can't agree with that other person. You can't say, well done, that was a good argument. You're automatically in this combat role. Think that's what happened when Jerem was talking to Nathan, and I'm pretty absolutely certain that it happens every time anybody goes into Nathan Oakley FED thing. There's always, like, if you don't get accepted, then you're on the other team, and you will always get this sort of treatment. And it shuts down conversation. It doesn't help anyone. I think that's what this arena does to people. It gets you to believe that everybody is an opponent. And therefore, you're always arguing everything, and you can't seem to come to an agreement or an understanding because of this side rule. That's what a YouTube debate is. I don't think nobody knows what a debate is anymore. there's loads of channels that depict themselves as debate channels where debates occur, but I'm not too sure. The flat earth debate has been turned into a joke because it's not even a debate anymore. It's just them talking. I don't know, like it. I don't think I don't watch it that much anymore. But debate flat earth and more. That's not a debate channel either. That's where people just shout at each other, get angry. There's a channel called Modern Day Debates, which is definitely following the trend of Frantic Bunny Ears modern day understanding for modern day debates. It's probably the truest one. But there's no traditional debate. Nobody's presenting any arguments. Put them up for discussion. Yeah, he says about insults. That's not a debate. And I know why, personally. It's because of this, what Jeremy was talking about. They've lost proof from science. So there's no arguments to be made to end up with a proof at the end. Like a perfect argument will end up with a proof. You will be given a proof through the argument. All you will then need to do is confirm it with a test. That's what we should be dealing with. We should be talking to each other to be able to give each other these proofs through arguments, through discussion, argument, through rhetoric, dialectic, if you will. It doesn't really matter. But these discussions have got to be friendly. There can't be different sides. There can be different sides of the argument, but there's no need to put it into the people and imagine that the people are the ones that are on different sides. We've been going over different arguments and proofs and what is knowledge. How do you gain knowledge? What is that knowledge? Oh, no, thank you. In my opinion, this is the channel that led me towards learning about how to debate. This channel? Or were you talking about a different channel? If you mean this channel, then thank you very much. But, I mean, the conversation is led mainly within the channel. The proofs are real. We were trying to work out all of these different denominations now that are going to actually appear through the flat earther arena. Because you've got, obviously, you've got the purist flat earthers, like Arwin and the like.
Dogmatic flat earther.
You know, well, yeah, I suppose, because they've got scripted stuff that people have to stick to, otherwise they get moved out. So yeah, I suppose you could say the purist dogmatic flat earthers. That's a good one. Then you've got people, thank you very much, Lamal. You've got people that have been excommunicated from that, but they've got to have a label, haven't they? Because I would say that they still consider themselves flat earthers. Maybe the newly flat earthers are.
But they are not so dogmatic, or maybe they heretic flat earthers or whatever. So
Yeah, you could find that, you know, if you were debating flat earther, right, and you wanted to sign a flat earther up, obviously you can't book Arwin or Nathan or QE or who else, Brian's Logic, he's one of them as well, 10th man. So you're never going to get people like that. You're probably going to end up getting people like Ratchy or Rachy. Or, you know, Del, you can go and have a word with Del. So there's outside of the group, but then Rachy's got to be careful about what she says, because obviously there's another group of people who'll say that she's saying the wrong thing. It all just seems a mess. I mean, it has been a mess for quite a while. But I think they're showing their true colours at the minute.
Yes, and for me, the funny part and nonsense part of that is, for example, with Reichi, is that talking about density has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth. So how could be that topic the cause of supposed excommunication from community? Because it doesn't make any sense for me. Talking about density or talking about upward moving Earth or whatever else, it doesn't tell anything about shape. So I don't know why it is going to that in that direction, that they want her to be expelled from community because she's talking maybe even nonsense, but not about the shape of the Earth. So why not flat earther? If she says that she is flat earther and she denies density or whatever, so let her be a flat earther without let's say science about density. So what? For me, that would be not a problem, because this is not problem about shape of the Earth at all. But for them, for dogmatic flat Earth believers, it is a problem. For me, this is strange.
I think their arguments become their babies, don't they? And I think anybody who has a part within an argument, they feel like they helped birth it. And I think that's why he gets defensive about it. It's his little baby.
Yes, I agree, but this is very long non sequitur, because, for example, this density argument, which is true, of course, and in experimentation it shows that it works, but it is rebuttal to Newtonian gravity, because so globe model is based on this gravity to the center of the mass, etc. That it is gravity, and density relationship disproves that model. So it is redundant to assume Newtonian's gravity. but it has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth, of course, in that case. So it is not proving flat Earth anyhow. So still, I don't understand why they are arguing about density, and then if she does not conform to their point of view, they are labeling her names like Arwin did. I don't understand that.
Well, that's what Arwin's done, right? He's taken the concept of what he imagines flat Earth to be, and he's added in this argument that he feels he's part of generating to that flat Earth thing. So now the definition of flat Earth, a flat Earther, incorporates things that nobody else would really associate with flat Earth.
Yes, and they would say, maybe in the future, near future, that if you are saying that the relation between densities are true and not Newtonian gravity, then you are flat earther.
Yeah. Yeah, the amount of ways for you to become a flat earther are going to be many. And what Arwin's doing, to me, he's not quite understanding what's going on within modern day minds. Because there's a really hardcore group of globe earthers that have been led down a path where they have to say, if you don't accept this contradiction, then you're a flat earther. Which literally makes everyone a flat earther, because they'll struggle to do that. But then Arwin wants all of these flat earthers, like nearly 100% of the population, to follow what he says and then say that the mountains are flat. After somebody said, like, don't, what you have to do is you have to accept this contradiction, and if you don't, then you're a flat earther. And Arwin's going to say, well, if you want to be a flat earther, you have to accept this contradiction. So where does that leave everyone? Like, really fucked up in the head. Can't go anywhere. There's only going to be really one place for people to go to that want to talk about stuff that they don't have to accept contradictions. And that's here. We don't make people accept contradictions. We just want to have the conversations. And I'd say as well, please come and challenge me with any contradictions you think I have. This is what Arwin was saying. Arwin says I never admit to being wrong. Tell me what I'm wrong about. I'm not going to accept a contradiction. Mountains aren't flat. And you can't separate the geometric understanding of perpendicularity making parallels. You just can't do away with that. So I'm not willing to accept that contradiction. And if anybody knows Rachie, if Rachie had that conversation with them guys wherever, I don't know. I mean, if Rachie wants to come round with Andrew again, I'll have a conversation about anything about that sort of stuff. I would. I'll have a conversation with anybody. Because say the training has been done. And I know for a fact now, people don't really want to have the conversations because the conversations that we have aren't your typical conversations. You will be challenged. Everybody gets challenged. And unfortunately, I think there's a thing that you have to learn, that you are walking around with these ideas that were placed within your mind while you were a child. You're just not going to get rid of them. They're always going to be there. Certain doubts about yourself and all of that. Come for a conversation. Test yourself. You might learn some proofs. But everybody, all of that old stuff, whatever we used to do, the conversations are there. They're on YouTube. Thousands of hours of me talking to people to try and learn about people, learn about what they've got, what other people have. I've tried to give people my understanding of things and tried to learn about other people's understanding of things. We've done most of it live. I don't know whether that's the best way of doing things. It's obviously not helped me. It doesn't seem to have helped me anyway. Not many people seem to understand what the idea of it was. That will be changing. I'll be making some different sort of videos, and we will be hopefully talking to people, and I do mean people like Arwin or Nathan, QE. Anybody want to come for a conversation? Adam, even? Fight the Flat Earth. That'd be a good conversation. Talk about children and what you teach children. Obviously, education's got a lot to do with this, and what you have learned. What's up with Timothy? Got time for the stupidity of Dell? Yeah, I'll talk to Dell. Well, if you've not got time for that, I don't know. It's too much negativity going on. What we do need to do is actually talk so we can progress about things. I'd encourage any sort of conversation at the minute, but I know what the rumor mill has put out there is that I'm too hard to talk to. Well, we'll see. Yeah, I do want to have a word with Dell, and I want to have a word with anyone. Timothy would be a good person to have a conversation with. Seems to have been in the arena for quite a while. Has anybody ever heard Timothy talking about anything? His experiences? Why he came into it? That goes for anyone, really. You as well, Gods. And Mike. And Lamal. Anybody wants to come in and have a chat? You want to do a like, what brought me to this arena? What do you think you've learned? What brought you in? That's what we're open for now. You never know how many people there might be out there. You know how hard it is to get up and say anything, especially when there's people like Arwin, you know, having a go at Rachie. Right? That could be you. You could be that person. Or you might just be like Saragaki and end up with people like Flat Earth Charles, like signing you up to the Flat Earth movement, publicly making a video about your argument, a perpendicular mathematical argument, calling you a flat earther. Well, what happens to people like that? Like, why? That's really strange, people in this arena doing that sort of stuff. People never get to have their say. People always have to deal with people like Arwin and Nathan Oakley, or it doesn't really matter, Blue Marble Science. Just slagging the name off all over the place. So it would be good to listen to people within this arena, knowing how they got here. People may benefit from that. Who knows? What have people gained is one of the things I like to ask. Since coming into this arena, what have you gained? It's usually not that much. You normally end up losing friends.
Yes, telling people that they are wrong, and if you can prove that they are wrong, yes, you may lose friends in that way. Sadly. Okay, I am off to bed. Good night.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
See you later. Anybody got anything else? What's the chat? Yeah, more confidence. Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me, Gods, is like I was quiet when I first came in here. I was pretty sure of myself, but you know, I didn't know how to talk to people. I've gained that a lot, just being able to speak publicly. But the main thing I've gained is a proof. I thank Fight the Flat Earth for challenging me to prove something to myself. It's like, well, yeah, I know. Of course you knew that level's horizontal, but can you prove it? I was lucky enough to actually do that, group of people. Yeah, the gains personally have been amazing, but that's not going to help anybody. Knowing the gains that I've made through the people that are around us, and the conversations, every one of the conversations I've had, I've learned something from. I've never learned anything from people like Arwin. That attitude, the anger, it doesn't help. People telling me that they've told me something doesn't make me take it on, because it doesn't mean anything. people dictating stuff that you're expected to just go with. No, sorry. So it's embarrassing. Yeah, it's Gord's. I think I think he wants so desperately to be remembered. He wants to have his name attached to something. I think that's what everybody does. Everybody wants to be the next Einstein or Higgs or whatever. It doesn't really matter, because people are making up strange and weird shit that other people afterwards are going, oh, well, you know. Just like Cavendish, a really weird bloke that nobody really noticed, and he was a bit of a freak. Finding something a bit later and tying something to something that, you know, may have something to do with it. Actually, he was trying to weigh the earth. People just want to be remembered for something, and this modern society that we're living in, these people are so model afflicted that they're trying to prove something that you should already know can't be proved. No, knowing that you can't do stuff, it makes you happy with yourself. And I don't know why anybody would want to be a poster child for flat earth, like a flat earth superhero cape. But they're telling people that you can't, you know, you can't wear the cape. To weigh the earth. I wonder how many people actually have these conversations outside of the on the level Discord. Yeah, I think it's all it's all a distraction. Modern day life. A distraction from what? Who knows? I guess that's up to everybody to find on their own what we're being distracted from. I think a lot of it, Gods, is the fact that this side rule has been taking place. So you imagine yourself on the side, and then you want your side to win. And then obviously within your side, the hierarchy starts coming out, and people start fighting, jiggling for positions within the side. And it all ends up like a shit show. Right. I think we will going to be ending it. My kitchen still isn't finished yet, so I'm still not sorted as to what we're doing. Like I say, I personally would love to talk to anyone. So if anybody does want to come in and do like an interview, podcast type, let's get it started. If you wanna leave your bit of yourself out there, and come in, have a chat. Got something to say? Come in, have a chat. Let us know about the arena. What do you think of it? Where do you think it's going? How long do you think it's got left? Is there a new path that needs to be forged? Let me get Buster on. Anyone got any recommendations or anything? Anyone got any requests? If I still could turn up on his Xbox. Spot on and baseline. This is a tune Spot On did. Might have a hidden meaning in it. Who knows? I don't know. We might be back during the midweek. I don't know. See what happens. But we will be working on a little project. Thank you very much, Gods. Well, yeah, coming in over the weekend. We do UFC. Yeah, this is Spot On and Baseline. We've got plenty of projects on. So if you are a little bit creative even, or if you want to come in and just have a chat, that goes for anyone. Click the link on the level Discord. See you soon.
Surveyor's life has often been fraught with hardship and danger.
Federal land, what we know of as the Western Territory, began when Congress first established the rectangular survey system. Congress, when they started to acquire the land in the Western Territories in the 1800s, had to develop a way of settling that land. When they went out and on top of a high knoll, they established an initial point. From that initial point, they drew a direct east-west line and a direct north-south line. The north-south line was the principal meridian. From that initial point, each 6 mile square was assigned a township number, north or south from the baseline, and a range number, east or west of the principal meridian. Each of these 6 mile squares was further subdivided into 36 sections of 1 square mile each. When Congress first established the rectangular survey system.
Surveyor's life has often been fraught with hardship and danger.
Of 1 square mile each.